Austin and the campus of the University of Texas,
where a sellout crowd is headed on as they enter Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium for the season opener. It's the North Texas Mean Green against the 7th-ranked team in the country, the Texas Longhorns. Hi everyone, I'm Bill Land along with Gary Reasons. Glad to have you with us for the start of another exciting college football season, and a lot of excitement surrounding this one, Gary. We start with Texas, and what an offense that Longhorn fans are expecting. You always start with the signal caller, and Vince Young is a guy that really can do it all.
Really explosiveness here for the Texas offense. Vince Young, a year ago, Bill, a freshman, played extremely well. He's a dual threat quarterback, a young man that can throw the ball, but he does a great job with his feet. Over almost 1,000 yards, just 2 yards shy of 1,000 yards rushing as a freshman. He's going to lead this offense. The question mark is his receivers. That's going to play out. But also offensively, they've got a great running back, and that's Cedric Benson. Cedric, he's a young man, he's a senior this year. He's going to lead this offensive football team, and the football team's going to be on his shoulders the running the ball. Cedric Benson has a chance to become the 4 1,000-yard rushing seasons. The first 3 seasons of his career, he's done that. He wants to become the 6th all-NCAA time to get that this year.
And on the other side, defensively, they've got certainly an award winner in Derek Johnson. He has really become a leader of this defensive group.
Well, DJ's a lot of fun to watch. He's a linebacker that I've watched for a number of years here at Texas that I've been most impressed with. He's got ability, he's got speed, he's got a new defensive coordinator, Greg Robinson, an NFL coach, is now with the Longhorns. Taught him a few tricks. I think you're going to see a lot of exceptional plays from Derek Johnson, Big 12 potentially defensive player of the year.
And don't slight the opponent tonight. North Texas, the 3-time defending Sun Belt Conference champ. They got a pretty good runner in their own right, and Patrick Cobbs. With more on him, John Radigan.
All right, Bill, thank you very much. Yeah, Patrick Cobbs, the numbers are very impressive. The digits, not so good. Patrick Cobbs has been wearing a cast on his hand throughout training camp. Yeah, the digits, the right thumb hurting him. He just took that cast off his hand. Today, he has a tender right thumb, and don't be surprised if he carries that ball in his left hand. But the numbers, as we said, very impressive. 152.7 yards per game last year, and he has now rushed in 9 consecutive 100-yard rushing performances. The Longhorns, though, might be looking to have him carry that ball in the left hand. If they see it in the right hand, they might key on that. We'll send it back upstairs now to Bill.
All right, thank you, John. The veteran quarterback Scott Hall leads this Mean Green team. It was thought earlier this year he'd be pushed by Andrew Smith. Tragically, Smith from Bay City, Texas, was killed in an automobile accident just a few days before the start of two-a-days. He was honored here tonight in a pregame moment of silence.
Introducing IMAX.
Welcome back to Austin, Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. Mad Dog and crew ready to take the field for the Texas Longhorns. Strength and conditioning coach Madden there, as Bill Land, Gary Reasons, and John Radigan welcome you back here to Austin. A bit steamy tonight, but not unusual for this time of the year. Sun has been in and out throughout the day. A full house expected here of 82,000 as the Longhorns open up the campaign against the Mean Green of North Texas. There's nothing like being at the ballpark, folks, I'll tell you. And what a thrill that's got to be for those Longhorn players, Gary, especially those newcomers.
A lot of energy in this stadium. I tell you, those freshmen, this is an experience they will never forget to run out here onto this field with the pageantry, the color that's here in this stadium. It's a lot of fun. Hey, they've got their eyes set on a big prize. They want to win the Big 12 championship this year, which is a tough thing to do, and they may even have their eyes on the national championship here at Texas.
Yeah, the Texas Longhorns realized that with the consistency that they have built under Matt Brown since he took over in '98 has really been something, and it gives them an opportunity to compete year in and year out in an upper echelon. Of course, first things first, they won a Big 12 championship, and before all of that, of course, you got to set the stage by taking care of business in the non-conference play, and that opens up here tonight with North Texas before meeting the University of Arkansas and then Rice on the non-conference slate. And UNT, a ball club that has continued to grow and gain confidence under the direction of Daryl Dickey, who was named after none other than Daryl Battle Royal.
I think this is a great test for the University of Texas to start against a very quality football team, an emerging team that Daryl Dickey has put together at North Texas, a team that has won the Sun Belt Conference Championship the last 3 years. They have 18 wins consecutive in the Sun Belt Conference, doing a great job there, Daryl Dickey does. They come into this game here with a lot of expectations for this year, and it's going to be a good ball game tonight, Bill. We've got a couple of teams that run the ball exceptionally well. Talk about the Texas offense and Vincent Young and Cedric Benson, and on the other side they've got a young man in Patrick Cobbs who can run it as well.
And there's Mac Brown as he puts on the headset and gears Texas up. They are ranked number 7 in the nation coming in here as the Longhorns open up against the Mean Green of North Texas. And you see his 7th year with a record of 59-18, and realize that he took over a program that was coming off a 4-7 season in '97, and now double-digit in the win column every year is expected, and then even more, as he would say.
Well, it really is expected. This team has become a championship caliber football team under Mac Brown, and they expect to win championships. He hasn't gotten it done yet, but the eye is always looking towards the future, and hopefully this could be their year.
And Texas is ready to kick it off here as Richmond McGee sets to kick it off, and deep for the Mean Green, Zach Muzzy and James Mitchell. Mitchell, on the advice of Muzzy, will down it in the end zone, and they'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. So UNT will break the sideline huddle and bring it out with senior quarterback Scott Hall. And you take a look at his numbers from last year, what he has done as a starter from not too far Schertz, Texas, just down the pike at Clemens High School, where he was an honorable mention All-State as a quarterback and a defensive back. The offensive line, Brewster is the bell cow here. First team all-conference pick and a senior. The backs and receivers, let's take a look right away at how Cobbs fares, because he certainly is a critical part. Quinn, their leading receiver from a year ago with 34 grabs. And on the first down call, Cobbs is smothered. Leading it is Eric Hall, the strong side linebacker, 6'2", 245. And let's take a look at that Texas defensive group. Up front, Crowder. Wright is certainly an all-star. Stevie Lee and Brian Robinson. The linebackers, Hall, Harris, and of course Derek Johnson, the returning All-American. The secondary, stout as usual with Griffin, Giger, Huff, and Aaron Ross. Cobbs on a 2nd down carry. Almost got back to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be a 3rd and long for North Texas, and certainly not what Daryl Dickey was designing on the opening series.
Well, what Daryl Dickey is looking at against the Texas defense is the defense is putting 8 men up against the line of scrimmage, trying to contain that running game that's been explosive in the past 2 or 3 years here for North Texas, trying to commit to stop the run here, first of all, early in this first quarter, the Longhorn defense.
And the keys for UNT.
I think they've got to run the ball, burn the clock, keep the offense off the field of the Longhorns, commit to stopping the run when they get out there on defense. That means stopping Vincent Young and Cedric Benson. They can't make mistakes. The turnovers, they cannot have penalties here in this stadium.
3rd and 10, and again they deliver to Cobbs, and he gets a yard or two to the 22 maybe. It'll be a 4th and long and a punting situation here for the Mean Green of North Texas. So the Texas defense, as expected, charged up and saying, bring it on. Michael Huff leading cheers, and there's plenty that will follow his lead.
A lot of excitement here in this stadium, and I tell you, they like to make plays in all phases of the game, Bill. Special teams is key for them. They've got Selvin Young as a punt returner. He's an explosive returner here for the Longhorns.
Last year, Young returned both a punt and a kickoff return for a touchdown in the opener against New Mexico State. And the punter, Cadlebar, low kick. Fair catch called. Not given an opportunity to field the football, though, and flags litter the field around the 46 of the Texas Longhorns.
A young man run into Selvin Young there as he's trying to field that punt. The young man that ran into him was being blocked by one of the UT players, but Selvin Young, you see the fair catch wave there, and you see the block. I'm not sure that's a real penalty, but nonetheless, it's going to go against North Texas.
Fair catch, interference on the kicking team. Number 2, 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Markeith Knowlton, the offender, if you will, as Daryl Dickey looks on. And that's something new this year, that the officials in college football are giving the number of the individual that
well, that's good and bad, Bill.
Hey,
Depends on the perspective from the players or you know, the fans.
Accountability, my man.
That's definitely accountability.
Now if basketball could just get the guys who make the fouls to make them raise their hands again, we'll finally have things right in the world of sports.
Oh, boy.
If you did it wrong, just fess up. All right, here's Texas with 1st and 10 from its own 38-yard line with quarterback Vincent Young. Hands off to Benson. Benson at the cross, the 30, watch out, 20, 10, touchdown, Texas! 38 yards from the get-go.
Bill, they deal with a play that's become a staple here for Vincent Young. It's the zone read. He reads the defensive end, and Cedric Benson hurdles inside there. Does a nice job of reading that play, and Cedric Benson, hey, a slimmer, faster Benson this year for the Longhorn offense. Looks like he's going to be off to a great start here running the football.
And now for the point after, Dusty Mangum, who in his career is 158 of 160. And he hits this one as well, and Daryl Dickey's worst nightmare coming through as Cedric Benson says howdy do to 04 with a 38-yard touchdown run, 7-0 Horns.
Well, Bill, this has been a staple here for the Texas offense this last season with Vincent Young in the shotgun position, hands off to Cedric Benson. This play here has done wonders for them because it gives the quarterback a chance to read. Cedric Benson, the benefactor of it here. Take a look at the defensive end at the top of the string. Stop it right there. You've got Vincent Young. He's reading that defensive end there. He sees him protecting the run around the outside, and then he's going to take it on through. Cedric Benson shows the speed. The slimmer Cedric Benson I talked about, he's down from about 225 last year to about 218 now, showing he's got plenty of speed to take it to the house.
And Texas electrifies this big crowd here in Austin. And once again, Muzzy is deep to return along with Mitchell. And Mitchell again down it deep in the end zone. And North Texas, as they did just 2 minutes, 11 seconds ago, will take over 1st and 10 on its own 20-yard line. And certainly for North Texas, they don't want to fall into this trap where they lose the field position game and they give up short runs or short touchdown scores for Texas.
Well, over this past several years, North Texas, Bill, has gotten their schedule such that they're going to play these kinds of games against Texas, against Oklahoma to start the season. And one thing that Daryl Dickey told me about his football team and what he wanted to recruit is we wanted to recruit quality guys that come into a heated situation and won't fold under that pressure. He's done a great job recruiting, and he's got these guys focused. They're going to go back and do what they do best, and that's run the football, play action pass with Scott Hall.
So Hall with Cobbs in the backfield. Didn't seem to be bothered on the grip the first 3 carries, which is the first possession. Gets it here. Another wall of Texas defenders and virtually no gain for Cobbs. Now Cobbs is a guy who last year not only led the nation in rushing per game, but averaged 5.5 per carry and 19 touchdowns.
Yeah, but what you've got here is you got a lot of orange shirts that are winning the line of scrimmage. And when you win at the line of scrimmage, you're going to win the running game. And they're stopping Cobbs, trying to run the ball inside. Now, the other thing about the Texas defense is their speed. Their speed at the linebacker spot particularly is superlative. You talk about Derek Johnson, his ability to get outside. This Texas defense is pretty loaded.
Philip Giger led the way with the tackle there, slicing in from the free safety slot. 2nd down and 10. Cobbs a 5th carry and minus yards, a loss of 5. Back to the 15. Tim Crowder, the sophomore from Tyler. John Tyler greets him.
Well, Tim Crowder, the left defensive end, comes all the way across the field, showing his speed and his athleticism. He's going to be a good one here. He's going to be down the line of scrimmage. Take a look there as Crowder comes down the line of scrimmage and gets Patrick Cobbs in the backfield. Good job at the point of attack there on the other side. You got Brian Robinson and Roderick Wright holding their own, doing a nice job, and good job there by the Texas defense. Get in the backfield for a negative play.
UNT/Cobb, 5 rushes, minus 4 yards. 3rd and 15. Hall to throw for the first time, nearly picked off The chest of Michael Huff is what stopped that one.
Well, Michael Huff had a chance there, Bill. He did a nice job of reading the throw of Scott Hall. Broke underneath. The ball did hit him square in the chest. He's going to look at that one on the film and say, hey, that should have been my first interception of the year. But 2 series now for the Texas defense, a 3 and out, moving that North Texas offense back. Now you've got your punt returner back on the field in Selvin Young.
Selvin Young last year as a sophomore averaged 24 plus on kickoff returns. He had the 39-yard punt return against New Mexico State for a touchdown. And he stands on his own 45 as Brad Cadlebar from Ennis, Texas, boots this one away. Young crosses midfield, 48-yard line. Broke a tackle, 45-40, and then tight-roped out of bounds just inside the 40-yard line of North Texas. So Texas, again, excellent field position. Last time it was one play, a score with a 38-yard scamper from Benson. And let's take a look now to give you an idea of what Texas sends out offensively. Once again, a huge offensive line. Returning starter Jonathan Scott at the anchor side on the tackle. Quarterback Vince Young sits behind these guys. Stutter, Glenn, Allen, Blaylock up front. The receivers you mentioned, Gary, are guys that very talented, just not a lot of experience. Certainly Tony Jeffrey is a key returner, though, because he has made some big plays. Young on 1st and 10 comes out throwing, finds Jeffrey. Out of bounds at the 26-yard line, and that'll be a first down. Tackle, or the push out, if you will, made by Markeith Knowlton. And let's look at the Mean Green defensive group. Wassam is a stud, a senior from Fort Bend, Texas, and on the Lombardi watch list. Cardwell, Pruitt, and Harris join him up front. The backers, Monroe, McNack, and Sean Early. And the secondary, Covington, Priestley, Knowlton, and Jonas Buckles. Buckles, another first-team all-conference pick from the Sun Belt, who has 11 career interceptions. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Benson, a fake to him, and then Vince Young. They stay home with him. He's tackled at the 24-yard line, where Knowlton makes the stop.
Bill, when I talked to Greg Robinson about his quarterback, he said the most impressive thing to him about Vincent Young is how poised and how ready he is to play this year. What he was talking about was how comfortable he is. A year ago, everything was really fast for him as a freshman. Now he's gone through that freshman season. He's into this, got his first spring season under his belt here with the Longhorns, and now into his sophomore year, he said the game has slowed down. And you've seen him play pretty well early on in this football game.
Texas, second possession, and it's 2nd and 8. The ball at the 24-yard line. Young keeps it, slips up to the 20-yard line, and crosses down near the 19 before he is stopped. And boy, for a quarterback to be able to pick those things up and make improvement in all areas, how key is that?
Well, it's tough on a defense. I tell you, when you have to account for everybody on the field, most times you're taking care of the running back and the receivers. But when you have to account for the quarterback in the run game, which is what Vincent Young gives you here, going against any defense, that's going to be very, very difficult. If he's a great passer, you can do that very easily in trying to coordinate all the receivers. But when he's that dual threat quarterback, which Vincent Young is, it's a deadly threat against any defense.
3rd and 4, the ball at the 20. Out of the gun, Young, pass is underthrown. Looking for Thomas, David Thomas, a junior, 6'3", 238, returning starter. Last year had 14 catches for 3 touchdowns. And Texas will bring on the field goal unit here as Dusty Mangum will come on. Last year he was 7 of 9, his longest a 45-yarder. And this one will be from 37 yards out.
37-yard field goal.
Mangum Senior out of Mesquite, Texas. Hit on 16 of 26 as a sophomore and 16 of 23 as a freshman. 37-yarder, long enough, and it is good. So Texas scores on its first 2 possessions. 4 plays, 20-yard drive stalled, and the 3-pointer is good by Mangum. Longhorns lead it 10-0 with a timeout here in Austin. Field goal by Texas, and it's 10-0 Longhorns with 9:43 to go here in this first quarter of play for the 04 season. And once again, the Longhorns will kick it off. Richmond McGee, the junior out of Garland, Texas, also doubles as the punter. This one be taken by Mitchell at the 3. 10, 15, and buries his head forward as he's out near the 16.5-yard line where UNT will take over. And Giger made the tackle. 13 yards on the return. All right, you're Daryl Dickey. What do you tell your bunch now?
Well, I think you got to come out here and get something positive happen. And they haven't tried a lot of misdirection stuff against this defense yet, but I think they'll have to do a little bit of boot pass perhaps. Take a look here at Greg Robinson, the new co-defensive coordinator here for the Longhorns. Guy who's got a lot of NFL experience the past 14 years in the NFL. Brings a bit different mentality here to this defense here for the Longhorns, and they're hoping they're going to have a lot of success with it. He's taught them a few new wrinkles, and I want to see how well they work, and they started off here tonight.
Most recently of the Chiefs and Broncos, says he's loving the college atmosphere and the chance to work with young people. Cobbs carries the football, and he is stopped near the 19 by Derek Johnson. Preseason National Player of the Year on the defensive side of the ball. Everyone agrees to be a top NFL selection. Johnson, 6'4", 235, a senior at Waco.
Well, what he does is he moves the ball exceptionally well. He's a linebacker on the weak side here, comes all the way across the line, and they're on part of the tackle. And this young man, I think, has an exceptional career ahead of him. Obviously, a good future in the NFL, but he wants to have a great senior campaign. He wants to win that Big 12 championship and potentially a national championship.
2nd and 7 from the 19, and Cobbs takes it to the 20, just across there. Will Giger meets him. Giger last year 90 tackles and an interception. An honorable mention, all Big 12 selection. A senior from Shreveport, that great football school, Evangel.
Now, Bill, we're talking about Derek Johnson. Had a chance to turn pro a year ago. The young man is a linebacker, one of the best in the country, but he decided to come back to Texas, much like a Roy Williams did a year ago for his senior year. Cedric Benson, the same thing. A couple of players that potentially are first-day draft picks, first-round picks in the NFL next year.
One of the reasons Texas is rated at number 7 in the preseason. 3rd and 6 for UNT. Their first 2 possessions have resulted in punts. They try to move it here, and incomplete, intended for Cobbs, and Hall taking the blame on that one.
Had a chance to talk to DJ yesterday about why he came back to the University of Texas.
Everybody has their own, I guess, personal options of what they're going to do in the personal lifestyle, but mine was to get close to my degree and to become just a better leader on the field and off the field, just to mature a little bit more.
Johnson saying also one of the things he's learning on the field, sometimes he said a ball would go beyond him and he'd kind of say, well, that's not mine. Anymore, he's pursuing all the time, isn't he?
And that's a mentality that Greg Robinson's brought to this defense. We'll talk about that also as things move along here in this ballgame.
All right, a timeout is called here at Texas with the Longhorns in control in the early going. 10-0 over the North Texas Mean Green. We'll be right. Welcome back to Austin. Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium. Longhorns 10, North Texas 0. UNT backed up again, deep in its own backyard, as Brad Cadlebar comes up to the line to make sure everything is straight following the timeout. There's Greg Robinson meeting with his defensive group that has been strong so far, forcing the 3rd punt of the night on the 3rd possession. Once again, Selvin Young, the threat for the home run, is back on his own 41. Cadlebar, good protection, gets it off. High kick, Young circles back, 38-yard line. Dance forward, gets near the 48-yard line, and he is brought down by Dominique Mackey. TJ Covington there, Mitchell covering as well, and a 42-yard punt.
Well, the start of this ball game has been exactly how Mac Brown would like to see it. His defense playing exceptionally well. 3 series for North Texas, and we're getting nothing accomplished. Now his defense out there for the 3rd time. A chance to put more points on the board on each offensive possession. See the cannon there as they shoot that thing here when they scored, Texas.
They may need some more gunpowder if Texas continues as they have on the first couple of possessions. First time, though, that they start in their own territory. Didn't tune in early. Cedric Benson brought them to their feet with a 38-yard run on the first carry of the season. Handoff here. Nothing doing for Selvin Young on his first carry. He stopped at the 45-yard line.
Well, a big cog in the middle for the North Texas defense that is not there this year is Sun Belt Player of the Year Brandon Kennedy, who's moved on. But so they've got some holes to fill up there on the defensive front for North Texas. A lot of young players having to move in there, and that's an interesting spot for them. Good job there on that first down play against the Longhorns.
Yeah, Booger Kennedy, who was a terrific player, one of the last guys cut by the Denver Broncos. They may keep him, we're told, his slight of an injury, but may put him on their taxi squad. So, give you an idea of the talent they had there, then that's not easy to replace. Again, on the ground is Young, and he is stopped at the 47-yard line.
Gain of 1. 3rd and 7 from 47.
And if you talk to the North Texas coaches, their biggest concern, they like their guys up front, but they got to find some more linebackers.
They really do. All 3 of their starting linebackers are gone from a year ago. You see the numbers that they put up there. These guys were superlative for the last 2 or 3 years playing defense for these guys. They've got to see the new guys here and what their production has been. Inexperience is what the key word is there for the North Texas linebackers.
Young slices it, completes it. First down at the 43-yard line. On the reception, Lima Swede, a freshman, redshirt freshman from Washington, Texas, went to Brenham High School.
Well, you see here, good protection right there. Vincent Young just steps up and throws the ball down and inside to Swede. Bill, you saw him in a high school all-star game, you told me, and said he's got great tools. When I saw him here in practice, looks like he's got the size, the speed that they want, and hopefully he's going to fill one of those big shoes here by those receivers that are now gone from the University of Texas.
Well, at Brenham High School, 31 of his 72 catches went for touchdowns. So, yeah, he's got the long ball in his arsenal. 1st and 10 at the 43. Young is 2 of 3 tonight for 24 yards, making 3 of 4. Jeffrey dances outside. A little bit of a loss on the play here. His forward motion looks like he'll be back at the line of scrimmage, though, as Walter Priestley, there he is, made the tackle. Senior from Alif Elsig down in the Houston area. He's a 3-year starter for this UNT defensive group.
Yeah, he and Buckles back there lead that defensive secondary. Priestley, a senior, doing a good job coming up, making a good sure tackle on a quick screen to the outside.
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 now, with Texas leading 10-0, 5:44 to go first quarter at the 43 of UNT. Handoff to Young, tripped up a couple of times. Great forward motion, though, and he continues to pick up positive yards to the 39-yard line of the Mean Green, where Knowlton is again there to make the tackle. Knowlton, a senior from McKinney, Texas, 52 tackles, 4 INTs last year.
One of the things you have to do, you can't trip your tailback, Vincent. When you go back there, he runs right into Selvin, and good job for Selvin staying on target, getting up into the line, and just didn't have all the speed he wanted to get going. Vincent, 6'5", Bill. Young man, got a lot of ability back there. He's a good-sized young man with a lot of speed and great athleticism.
They call him the Freak for good reason. Sets up strong to throw, fakes, now dumps it off, and completes it to David Thomas for another first down. He'll move the chains near the 27-yard line of North Texas.
Real bright spot here for the Texas Longhorns is the play of their tight ends. They've got David Thomas and Bo Scaife back for a 6th year. So these 2 tight ends, bookends perhaps for the Longhorns this year. They're going to try to utilize the tight end more in the system here. Good movement there by David. You see his footwork that he has, and they'll even split him out in the wide receiver position, get him down the field. He's got enough athletic ability and speed to stretch the defense a little bit.
1st and 10 at the 27. Young again to set up the throw. And he completes this one out on the flat, down inside the 20 and out of bounds near the first down marker. Sean Early makes the tackle on Matthews, the fullback. Will Matthews, big senior from here in Austin, out of Westwood High.
Well, watch the read of the quarterback here. You're going to see Matthews come out to the flat here and just throw it out there. You see the defensive zone coverage in the backfield, and Matthews just pulls it up and goes forward looking for that first down marker, and he gets it. I think they've spotted it for him for the first down. Good job by Selvin Young reading the defense and taking what's allowed.
Matthews just 1 reception last year. He scored 3 touchdowns on the ground, all against Oklahoma State. Gives him a 1st and 10 at the 16 of the Mean Green. Selvin Young, 10, 5, the power, tumbles in, touchdown, Longhorn. Impressive.
Selvin Young on the cutback here. He got misdirection in the backfield. A fullback comes weak side, but Selvin Young, watch the power that he has here. Takes on, Mark was at Knowlton trying to get the tackle on him, and good job by Selvin Young, powering into the end zone of the touchdown for the Longhorns.
8 plays, 56 yards, Selvin Young. A 16-yarder to cap it off, and now Mangum trying to make it a 17-0 start for the Longhorns. Good. Texas, 3 possessions, 3 scores, and Young leading this one.
Watch the offensive line here, the surge. Everybody moves to the left, and the cutback lane is there. Selvin Young reads it very well, and then powers on in past Knowlton for the score. Good job by the offensive line. Good read here by the tailback, and the speed and the power gets him the touchdown.
It's a little cool air for Selvin Young, the junior out of Houston, Jersey Village High School. And last year, 35 carries, 151 yards. You see he's a little bit more involved here right from the get-go this season.
Well, 3 possessions now for Texas, 3 scoring drives, 2 touchdowns and the field goal. Mack Brown has to be pleased with how his offense has performed and his defense. They've done exactly what they wanted to do here to start this ball game. Hey, they're ranked number 7 in the nation coming into this football game, and I want to try to live up to that ranking. A few question marks this year for Mack Brown and his football team, Bill, but I think that they've answered the bell pretty well early in this ball game.
And Texas, total time of possession, 5 minutes, 18 seconds. What's it gotten them? 114 yards and 17 points. And Daryl Dickey on the other side, realizing if his club doesn't do a little something offensively, his defense is going to get it worn out in a hurry. And they're not winning at all in the game of field position either. Need a kick return, need something just to get down the boost. And again, here's McGee's kick in the end zone. They'll down it. Go 1st and 10 from the 20. And let's go down to the 3rd member of our crew, John Radigan.
All right, Bill, thank you very much. Anybody who saw the beginning of our broadcast knows that the University of Texas did a very classy thing in observing a moment of silence for the fallen soldier of the North Texas Mean Green. Andrew Smith died on his way to football practice, and the season has been dedicated to Andrew Smith. He would have been battling for the starting quarterback job. You see the back of the helmets. Every player has number 12 in the back of his helmet, and the coach has number 12 embroidered. All the coaches have number 12 embroidered on the sleeves of their coaching shirts. This season definitely dedicated to Andrew Smith.
Well, we saw him here 2 years ago when Scott Hall got injured in the first game of this season, and Smith filled in admirably and had become a real complete member of this club. Completed here by Hall, and that gets UNT a 1st down out to the 39-yard line. Andy Blunt, the receiver, senior from Bandera, Texas, had 22 grabs a year ago.
Well, that's something I think that North Texas has to do. A little misdirection, boot pass here, get Scott Hall out of the pocket, away from the pressure. Then you're going to see Blunt come on the left side, number 7, the tight end all the way across the field, get behind the linebackers. Good delivered by Hall, and hey, that's the first down here for North Texas.
First completion for Scott Hall, who last year completed 58% of his passes for 1,700 plus yards, 13 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. A little breathing room finally for the Mean Green. This one deflected. Derek Johnson, he's made a living with deflections and interceptions. Wright may have gotten a hand on it as well. Johnson with 8 career interceptions. Pretty amazing for a linebacker.
Well, he gets all over the field, makes plays. Derek Johnson, he just amazes everyone every time he's out there for his athleticism, what he's able to do. Rush the quarterback, cover. A little bit different this year, what they're asking him to do, because he play a lot more zone defense in a Greg Robinson-style defense, and I think that's going to help him as he moves on to the next level. This is the first time out there the Longhorns going to be playing a little bit more zone defense. Good chance to do that against a balanced offensive attack of North Texas.
Preseason All-American Roderick Wright put the pressure on for that play. This one is complete to Mitchell. 50, 45. And down near the 42, Texas recovers the fumble, but they whistled it dead. And is it still UNT football? I believe so.
Well, this is a good job here by North Texas, moving the ball down the field. They throw it out to the flat. Derek Johnson's going to be chasing from the inside out. Take a look here at number 11. Ball's going to go to the flat, and he can't catch him till the very end. Gets the 1st down, trying to strip the ball from the backside. Scott Hall doing a nice job of reading and taking what the defense gives him.
So the second 1st down, both on this drive, and now Hall is 2 of 5 for 38 yards. 1st and 10 at the 42 of Texas. And again, complete to Muzzy. And another loose ball, and Texas has recovered this one. Yes, Longhorn football. Derek Johnson, I believe, was in the middle of it again.
Greg Robinson taught DJ patience this year. That's what he's talking about, patience. He's the weak side linebacker, number 11. And what I mean by patience, do your job. He's going to be on the weak side. He's got to take care of the back side of the field. See Derek Johnson come back and make the play, strip the ball out. Good job there on the Longhorns. Ball's kicked back in the field of play, and they get the recovery.
Johnson certainly the strip and caused the fumble, and I'm not sure who came up with the recovery, as there was a herd of them all pouncing on the football, which is again something that Greg Robinson has really stressed into his team. Derek Johnson and crew last year forced 29 turnovers.
Well, there's a methodology to Greg Robinson and going to the football. We'll talk about that and how he prepares his football team.
And right away they come out going to the deep man, and Thomas has run out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
Well, I talked about him earlier, about his ability to stretch the defense. David Thomas, a tight end by position, but he has enough speed to get down the field. He's going to work to the outside. David Thomas lined up out in the backfield as a fullback, goes through the line of scrimmage. He gets down the seam just outside the hash mark. Does a nice job of catching the football, and you see his ability to run after the catch. That's the athlete that David Thomas is here for the Longhorns.
36 yards on the play for Thomas, and Thomas has now caught 2 for 48. First and 10 Texas from the 27. Still 3:09 to go first quarter, and up 17-0. Benson carrying 3 or 4 with him down to the 18-yard line. Just shy of another first down. Give him 9 as Monty Stevenson, redshirt freshman from Alvarado, made the stop. Listen in on this play.
Well, there's a lot of contact out there. North Texas is a physical defense. They want to play, keep everything inside of them if they can. The Texas line of scrimmage, though, moving the ball down the field, these running backs are doing a good job.
Down to the 14-yard line. Benson as Burris makes the stop. Parks also in on the play, and Texas scoring on its first 3 possessions. Benson a 38-yard run, Mangum a 37-yard field goal, Young, Selvin that is, a 16-yard run. And now, after taking over on a fumble recovery, the Longhorns marching in first and 10 at the 14-yard line. Out of the gun, it is up tight to the center is Vincent Young, with Benson alone back behind him. 2 tight end offensive look here. Benson takes advantage of that power. And mark him near the 7-yard line.
Well, he's going to be happy about how his offensive line is playing. Take a look at the right guard there. That is Will Allen, number 72. This young man does a good job of getting on his block and moving the line of scrimmage. Take a look at the big orange. They're moving down the field. Number 72 pushes him out of the way, and that's where Cedric Benson gets right in behind Will Allen. Good offensive line play.
4 plays, 57 yards on this drive thus far. Last year, what they do in the red zone, 64 trips, 47 touchdowns, 9 field goals for 88% success rate. 2nd and 2 from the 6. Benson put on the brakes, leaps forward for the first down, and it'll be a 1st and goal for the Longhorns. Owasum makes the tackle.
Bill, the last 2 plays show you what balance the offense has when you have 2 good tight ends. You have number 16, David Thomas, and you have Bo Scaife, number 80. Both of them line up on opposite sides of the line of scrimmage. So it's a very balanced formation. Then Vincent Young just reads the defense, and he can audible to the line of scrimmage to go whichever side he would like to. That offensive line is doing their job up front as well.
What a tough prospect for the defense. 1st and goal from the 2. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas. As the Longhorns score again, Matthews, the fullback, gets into the act with his first TD of the season. Will Matthews. They're spreading it around here in Austin.
Well, power football is back here at UT, and that's what they're doing here, powering the ball down the field, running against this North Texas defense. The linebackers are gone from a year ago for the Eagles, the mean green, and got to find a way to slow down this Texas running attack.
Now for the point after. Mangum's hit the first 2 and a field goal, and 3 of 3 in the PAT department. And Texas, with the first quarter still going and 59 seconds remaining, has made it a 24-0 game and a near flawless performance. So UNT finally got the football moving a little bit offensively, Gary, but then the turnover, and Texas makes its longest drive and punches it in for 7.
Well, that's the defense doing good things here for the Longhorns. Turn it over to the offense, and Offensively, I tell you, for North Texas State, they moved the ball very well there, but the turnover was critical and something you can't do. Daryl Dickey knows you can't make mistakes when you come into an arena like this, a chance to play against a nationally ranked football team, number 7 coming into this game. The Longhorns are. And I tell you, it's going to be a long night here if they can't get things squared away defensively to slow this offense down to the Longhorns. And offensively, they've also got to move the ball, keep the defense off their offense off the field, and give their defense a break.
6 plays, 63 yards, and Texas puts 7 more on the board. And McGee gets to work on his kickoff again. And the Longhorns with 177 yards of total offense in the first quarter. And they've had great field position. McGee again to kick it off. Buzzy and Mitchell will be deep for UNT. This one is brought out. Muzzy to the 10, broke a couple, still on his feet. A heck of a return for Muzzy. He earned what he could have done by downing it with a knee in the end zone. But I tell you what, tip my cap, trying to make something happen, Gary.
Trying to make something happen there, doing a good job here. But I tell you, his other returner back there says, "Oh, don't run by me." I like to block for you, but hey, he makes some guys miss, breaks a few tackles, get back to the 20-yard line, which is where he would have gotten the ball. Kind of a gutsy play there. Now the Eagles have to get going here, try to get something, moving the ball down the field against this defense, which has been pretty stingy.
It was Kevin Moore, number 30, back there telling him, hey, well, wait a minute. Let me help you out if you're coming out of here. So UNT, 5th possession to start at its own 20-yard line. Cobbs, nothing doing again as Texas defense. We're talking about new coaches. You know, Dick Tomey is one of the new coaches, and I think of the Desert Swarm that he had when he was the head coach at Arizona. We'll get more on that in a moment. First, let's go down to John Radigan.
Hey, I tell you what, Bill, note on Patrick Cobbs. He obviously hasn't been very effective yet in this game, but part of the reason is that injury that we talked about before the game. That is a broken thumb, and that is still officially a cast on his right hand. He has an air cast on there, and he has never carried the ball in his left hand. He's feeling awkward and out of sync, according to people on the North Texas sideline. It sure has looked like it so far, guys.
Yeah, and really a tough situation for the youngster because an opportunity on a national stage here, and obviously, you know, there's a little bit of different feel to it. Hall completes the pass here on a 2nd down and 11 from his own 19 as Nevins makes the reception. Chris is a sophomore from St. Charles, Missouri.
Well, this is a chance here for North Texas to move the ball down the field. Scott Hall's going to throw it out to his outlet pass here. Leads his receiver a little bit too far. Is right on the sideline there. You know, back to the offensive performance here and Patrick Cobbs and what he's been able to do. I think a lot of that has to do with what Texas is doing defensively. They're playing in the North Texas backfield. They're getting through there, getting penetration, and they're disrupting everything that North Texas is doing, trying to run the football. So Patrick Cobbs, if he doesn't have any blocking, he's not going to get too many yards at all.
3rd and 8 at the 22. Final play of the quarter. Hall unloads. Speaking of unloading, oh my goodness, what a shot by Giger in the secondary.
Woo. Well, that was Blount, the tight end, coming across the field. Scott Hall hit him earlier in the ball game, but not this time. Giger does a good job and gives him a pop.
That's the end of an impressive first quarter. Benson got him going with a 37-yard touchdown run. Everybody's gotten in the act. Horns pounding him.
Speed Tuesday original series.
Welcome back. Bevo, there will be a changing of the guard here tonight at halftime. Bevo 13 moving on for Bevo 14. Let's go down to John Radigan.
Yeah, does this guy look familiar to you? That is Bevo 13. Over here is Bevo 14, who officially takes over his duties as the official Bevo today. It is actually going to happen during the halftime ceremony, guys. At the end of halftime, Bevo 13 will be retired. Bevo 13, the most successful Bevo in Texas Longhorns history. Bevo 14 over here, just hoping that he can have as good a career as Bevo 13 did. Guys, back to you.
14 enjoying a nice redshirt process before coming in to take over for 13. And 13 says my record speaks for itself.
The redshirt the first half because he's got to work the second half.
That's
I think
right.
They're taking him out and for retirement at halftime.
Exactly. So Texas, they can chuck a little bit here. Cadlebar's punt taken by Young, and he fields it. And Texas will take over to start the second quarter after a 49-yard kick by Cadlebar, who was a second-team all-conference pick in the Sun Belt last year. And now the Longhorns will start their first second quarter drive from their own 29-yard line.
Yeah, that's a little bit of help on the field position. Thank you, Mr. Punter, of the North Texas defense says.
Handoff Benson coming in the near side. And Benson broke another tackle. Boy, he looks great, Gary. Knowlton makes the tackle. One of the things they said when he would come back from baseball, he just didn't look fresh. It was like, boy, I need some downtime. Well, he didn't want to shirk his responsibilities, but this year, by being here the whole time, I think he is probably just stronger and in better shape. Not that he wasn't in good shape in the past.
And also the leadership aspect of it, Bill. For him to be here for his senior year back in Austin, getting ready to go with his teammates, that spoke volumes. And he was there all summer long, and I think that Mack Brown very pleased that he decided to do so, and he looks very good here early in this ball game.
5 carries, 70 yards, and a TD thus far. Benson here makes the best of the worst. Great balance, and he may have another first down as he trips across midfield.
Well, that's that zone read play that they like to run. Vincent Young back in the shotgun. He puts it in the belly of Cedric and takes a look down. Look at the defensive end. He decides to hand off. They've got the guard pulling around there. Cedric having a little tiptoe there, get his hand down to get some balance. Good job of making 10 yards and a first down.
Well, Benson averaged 113 yards a game last year, third in the Big 12, and it won't be long before he gets that century mark here if they so choose to continue to feed him the football. As this time, Will Matthews gets the carry. Owasa makes the tackle, and he is stopped at the 46-yard line of the green.
Well, you talk about Cedric Benson and what his career has done here at the University of Texas. The young man has done a great job of moving up the charts and has a chance to eclipse Earl Campbell, one of the greats here at University of Texas in the rushing charts. Needs a few hundred yards here to accomplish that this year, and got his eyes set on that mark.
On a Midland Lee, where he was a 3-time Offensive Player of the Year in the 5A classification, and a bunch of state titles. Slipping and sliding here. Picked up 1 or 2 inside the 45-yard line for Cedric Benson, 6 foot 225, and Alan Harrison, a sophomore from Big Lake, Texas, makes the stop out of Reagan County.
This is what we're talking about with Cedric Benson. That's what he's done through tonight. Actually up to date. Our guys are on top of it here. Just needs a few hundred yards, about 700 yards or so to get Earl Campbell this year. So he gets 1,000 yards, which he would like to become that 6th player in NCAA history to have 4 1,000-yard rushing seasons. He could be the 2nd all-time rusher here at the University of Texas.
7 carries, 82 yards. It's 3rd down and 4. Young passes, and it is complete at the 39-yard line. That ought to move the chains once more as Bo Scaife.
Yeah, that's the other tight end catching a ball there, and Bo getting up right after he catches the ball. He's thinking it's the NFL. I'm not touched till I'm down. Now, this is college. You go down, you are stopped right there. Bo Scaife coming across the field, working in on the linebackers and wheeling back out. A little wheel route there, and he gets up and starts running. I don't know what the penalty is here. We'll get that sorted out.
Maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct as he tossed the football back at the UNT player.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 80 of the offense, 15 yards.
Well, is that after the first down or not? It looks like he's got it marked possibly for a first down, and they would mark it back after that. That was a...
Mack Brown wanting an explanation.
It's going to be a first down. He got the first down. They're going to mark that post possession, so they're going to reset the chains.
Mack is livid.
It's a 5-yard gain and a first down. And a 15-yard penalty. So when he scores...
In fact, Gary, I don't know if I've ever seen Mack that upset, at least particularly in this situation of a game on a particular call.
Well, Bo Scaife is a guy who's not a guy who's a hothead or anything. He just flipping the ball back. He just might have got a little extra juice on it. It's not anything really bad. So Mack Brown's trying to stand up for his guys.
1st and 10 at the 46 now.
Uh-oh.
The Texas 46. Selvin, or Vincent Young, 40, 35. Makes it look so easy. Just gets it all back and more. It's okay. Next series.
Hey, they've been running this all night long here. It's that read play, and hey, read it down there, and then you see that defensive end peek inside. One too many steps right there, and uh-oh, you can't get him. I'm going around you. And Vincent Young, 6'5", comfortable, athletic, moving around the field, decides to go out of bounds here. Look at what he has in front of him. That's why I'm saying uh-oh when I see that play happen, because it's tough on the secondary to come off and make tackles on a speedy 6'5" quarterback.
Yeah, Tommy Harrison was a defensive end that just shot right in there after Benson, saying, hey, I'll get him from behind. I'll make a big play. Instead, it goes the other way. Now, here's Benson. May go again. 15 down inside near the 10-yard line. Cedric Benson brought down by T.J. Covington.
Well, I'm talking about coming into this football game to have balance in the running game with Cedric Benson and Vincent Young. They certainly got that accomplished tonight. Those two a year ago, when they were on the field, made some special plays. They've got a system here that's working for them. You get in the shotgun, give the quarterback a chance to read. It's tough on defenses when you have to take care of both situations. The read play there for the quarterback or the tailback coming through the hole.
Vincent Young calls it out. First down. And he hands it off again, and Benson again follows the lead of that offensive line. Like Tony Hill's leading the way. Now let's hear a little bit from Derek Johnson about his good buddy Cedric Benson.
Him on the field, he's just a joker. He's type person. He's going to get everybody else. We have to go with P's and Q's while he's out there, because it's just, I mean, it's a great experience to be his friend and his teammate.
Well, his teammates 112 now. Oh, a fumble here. Benson and Young both falling on it. But Gary, Texas 15-0 when Benson rushes for over 100 yards. Well, he's 9 for 112 prior to maybe they give that possession to him. And maybe that's the best form of leadership.
I'll tell you, he and Derek Johnson, when they came here 4 years ago, both were Prep Star All-Americans, two of the best players in the country. Now they've gone on for 4 seasons together here to lead this team. They're the two seniors that are the bell cows on both the offense and the defense. Cedric Benson on offense, Derek Johnson on defense, and both of them are great athletes and great leaders for this football team.
Third down, ball on the 7. They need 6 for the first down. Going to throw it in the end zone, and it is complete. Inside? No, they say he was outside the border. Brian Carter, a sensational catch, a junior from the Woodlands. He was covered by Jonas Buckles.
That's a tough call there for that back judge, trying to make the call on that play. Brian Carter does a nice job of pulling the ball in. Vincent Young throws it out there over the top of the defender, and the one-handed grab comes in. Looks like his knee comes down right on the stripe. I think it's a good call there. Not going to go the way here of the fans here at the stadium, but because they're seeing the same replay that we're having here on the Jumbotron. But the knee is definitely on the stripe. I think it's probably a pretty good call.
You know, some places they wouldn't do that, but by golly, you pay enough money as a fan to come here. You're entitled to see what the guy at home's seeing, aren't you?
Mac's thinking, okay, now we got to kick a field goal.
So Mangum will come on. He had a 37-yarder on the second possession, and he's also been perfect on his PATs. And he sets up, and this one is good as well. So the Longhorns, again, hit on the field goal, and they have scored on every possession, and now lead it 27-0 here in the second quarter. We thought we'd show you Bevo 1 since we're having a changing of the guard tonight of 13 and 14.
The horns are drooping just a little bit, Bill.
Dragging just a bit. I'll tell you what, his football team is not, as the Longhorns lead it 27-0. And again, Richmond McGee will kick it off. Muzzy and Moore are deep. A flag is thrown back near the kick. Muzzy, 20, 25, out to the 27-yard line, but again, a penalty flag thrown.
Interesting here. They're going to be offsides on the kickoff team here, but I think Darrell Dickey might take this, not take the penalty, and take the field position here up over the 25-yard line. Now, offensively here for North Texas, Ramon Flanagan is their offensive coordinator, Bill, and he's the youngest offensive coordinator in Division 1A football, 28 years old. Got to try to find a way to get something going here with this offense, do something against his. It's been a stingy Texas defense so far in this ball game.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious early that they wanted to establish what they could with Cobbs, try to get the running game going, keep the clock moving, see if they couldn't get a little field position on their side, saying it's all right to punt. It's just we don't want to do it 3 and out.
Kicking team 5 yards from the end of the run, which is a new rule this year.
Well, that's one of the new rules, Bill. Take it to the end of the run, or you make them kick it over. It's a choice.
As a result, they'll move it out here to the 32-yard line for an 18-yard return. And North Texas 1st and 10 as senior quarterback Scott Hall steps under center again. Hall 4 of 8 for 46 yards in the passing game. Rolls out now, sets up. Going deep, incomplete, just off the hands of Johnny Quinn, and certainly Huff was there and I think got a finger on it as well.
Well, Huff does what I call an undercut technique here. Does a good job at the safety position, reading the receiver, reading the quarterback, and waiting for the ball to be thrown. You're going to see number 7 come underneath. Scott Hall, play action pass here. Going to send 4 receivers in the pattern, and the ball, you see Huff come underneath, undercut that ball. Almost makes an interception for the Longhorns.
He had 2 interceptions for touchdowns last year. One against New Mexico State, one against Nebraska, I believe. And see Hall realizing he just about had one here. Instead, it's 2nd and 10 from the Mean Green 32, trailing 27-0. Hall rolling out after the fake handoff. Texas smelling it and snuffing it out. And Crowder makes the tackle, as well as Stiegel there.
Well, good job that time by Stiegel, the outside linebacker. He's out on the wide receiver in the slot. It's going to be kind of a screenplay option here. Hall can't throw it out there because Stiegel covers him up very well, and good job that time by the young linebacker for the Longhorns.
So it's 3rd down time again. UNT is 0 for 4. Texas has been 3 of 5 in 3rd down efficiency, and a timeout is called here by the Mean Green of North Texas. They will talk it over. We have 9:29 to go here in the first half. We'll take a brief timeout. Be right. Well, the Burnt Orange with a 27-0 lead here on a season opener for Texas and North Texas. Bill Landry, the reasons, John Radigan with you, as the Longhorns face UNT. UNT 3rd and 11. The ball on its own 31-yard line. Hall out of the shotgun. To Blunt, short, and a fumble, and Texas diving on it. It appears, yes. Longhorns get the football back. Fumble caused by, I believe, that number 11, Derek Johnson.
Well, active pursuit there to the football. Good job there of going to the ball after it is thrown. Scott Hall throws it to Blunt, the big tight end, who could open in the middle of the field. Defensive pursuit, when you go to the ball and you make a big hit, good things usually happen. That's what happens here for Texas. You see the break here right up there in the front. Good job. Is that Derek Johnson underneath, number 11, who knocks it out? Certainly is. And
I think Giger is the one that actually came in and made the recovery.
Scott Hall saying, no. Do not like that.
Well, and Blunt, I think full well knowing he's a little short of 1st down yardage, trying to get that extra effort. As a result, Derek Johnson comes in, pops it loose, and Texas takes over 1st and 10 on its own 44, rather on the UNT 44, and flags everywhere.
False start on the offense. Number 64. Down remains the same.
I was going to say it's been a pretty clean game for the Texas Longhorns penalty-wise, Gary.
Yeah, it has been. Mac Brown doesn't like any mistakes out there for his football team, and saw on that play trying to run the boot pass. They had it open there. David Thomas was coming around for the tight end, come behind the linebackers, get that balanced formation with the 2 tight ends in the game, which is what's in there now. You've got Bo Scape on the right side, David Thomas on the left. A balanced formation here. Quarterback Vincent Young just reading the defense here and calling audible to the line of scrimmage.
So it's 1st and 15 from the 49 now of North Texas. In that 2 tight end look, Selvin Young gets the opportunity, and the UNT defense led by Evan Cardwell, the senior from Hutto, Texas, comes through to make the tackle. North Texas, of course, last year they got the pleasure of opening up with Oklahoma. 2 years ago they were here. They have not stayed away from anyone And certainly Daryl Dickey says, I know the deal. No one changed the schedule when I got here. It's going to help pay for the rest of our program. And he's done a great job of using that to a positive fashion and getting his team ready for the Sun Belt every year. And as a result, they've won that league 3 years in a row. Vincent Young stopped for a loss on this play in Texas territory at the 47, sacked by Arthur McNack.
Well, a couple of good plays here by the North Texas defense, stopping him on the run. Then on the quarterback draw here, Vincent Young trying to take it up inside. Defense has to make some plays here. Vincent, this is a design run play here. Good job by the defense of taking it in there.
UNT has had 6 possessions. They have punted it 4 times. They have fumbled it away twice. Texas has scored on each of its possessions. And this is their 6th here. It's 3rd and 19, though, for the Longhorns. Vincent Young setting up the screen. Selvin Young, 40, and tackled near the 37-yard line. Did not get the first down. But a good-looking play just the same. Walter Priestley made the tackle. Texas fans saying go for it.
First screen play here. You see the offensive line going to come out over here and do a good job of getting in front for Selvin Young. Got the first block there, and Selvin, you see the pursuit here by the defense. Good tackle, come up underneath and stop him short. Bring up that 4th down.
16 yards on the pass play, and it's 4th down and 3. And Texas will go for it here at the 37-yard line of North Texas. Carter goes wide left. Jeffrey to the near side, and again Vincent Young sets up under the center to throw the football, going down to the 15, the 10, and incomplete. A diving attempt made as Bo Scaife nearly came up with a great grab. Senior out of Denver, Colorado from Mullen Prep. Buckles was covering.
Well, play action pass here, good execution. The ball's just a little bit overthrown. Bo Scaife, nice effort there, almost pulls it in, but the ball bounces when he hits the ground and comes away from him. They're happy to have Bo Scaife back in the lineup. He's a quality tight end, missed the season a year ago, back this year for the Longhorns for his sixth year here on this campus, and be a big part of that offense, just a little bit out of his reach.
Yeah, he struggled through some injuries, but fighting through it, and very talented player. And Texas now gives it up on downs, and UNT will take over on its own 37 with 7:12 to go in the first half. Hall, little option play, rolls off one, lost the football. Texas recovers it, and Derek Johnson was again in on the play, and the Longhorns get it right back at the 28-yard line.
Well, Derek Johnson will tell you, hey, I missed the tackle, but I caused the fumble. Scott Hall, down the line option there, decides to turn it up inside. Number 11, Derek Johnson, take a look. He's going to come right down here and hit the football right there. Scott Hall turns around and drops the football.
And Frank Okam, the freshman from Dallas Lake Highlands, comes up with the pickup.
Well, actually, that's his other fullback coming in there, hitting the ball on it, and Scott Hall doesn't have a handle on it, and the Longhorns come up with it.
So UNT, its 3rd fumble of the night. Across the middle and incomplete. Vince Young trying to come across to tight end Thomas again. 2nd and 10 as Daryl Dickey looks on and trying to figure what he can get out of his offense.
A lot of frustration is where he's at right now. The no touchdowns, the no field goals, very little movement with the football, and obviously the turnovers hurt you, especially against a talented team here in this stadium.
Vince Young run 5 times for 20 yards, passed 7 of 10 for 104. And Texas again knocking on the door. Cedric Benson down near the 11-yard line for the Longhorns before he's brought down by Brandon Monroe. Monroe, one of those linebackers that UNT hoping will step up. He's a freshman from Electra, Texas. And Kenny Evans, the defensive coordinator, was telling us, he goes, you know, he's playing two-way football. And it's a big step from Friday night to Saturday night when there's now 80,000 watching.
Well, they do a good job on the tackle here. Cedric mentioned the ball's going to come out. He's going to cause a fumble right there on the hit. The ball comes down a little bit, and the big offensive lineman scoops it up. Nonetheless, a good play there by the Longhorns, getting running room inside for Cedric Benson.
And it's 1st and goal from the 9. Vincent Young. They tackled everybody. Benson, anybody that looked like he might have the ball. And Allen Harrison made the stop on the man that did have it, who was Vince Young.
Well, upset replay again. He decides to keep the ball this time, but good job there by the defense. At least one guy gets him, and then the cavalry comes. Pursuit to the football. It's a mark of a good defense. They've had a good defense for North Texas over the last several years, Bill. Good numbers a year ago coming in.
Well, and the thing with Vince Young at 6'5", 225, he can afford to run the football. Big, strong guy that he's going to be delivering some of the punishment a lot of times. 2nd and goal from the 9. The flip to Benson. Got one good block. 10, 5. Did he get in again? Trying to reach to break that plane. Just shy. Cedric Benson.
Well,
Harrison made the tackle.
Tony Jeffrey, number 12. You're going to like what he does if you're a Longhorn fan. He's one of those returning wide receivers. You're going to see him at the top of the screen come back and get a little angle block. Kabingo right there. That's what you do. And Cedric Benson trying to finish it off here with a strong run. Gets it down to the 1-yard line.
Give him some kudos in the tape room a little bit later when they take a look at that play, huh?
He might be run back once or twice.
Yeah. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Matthews in front of Benson. Thomas back in motion. Benson, and he's in. There's a flag thrown. Touchdown Texas if it stands. Cannon is fired regardless.
Penalty
Offside
decline
against
touchdown.
UNT, obviously declined, and the Longhorns score again. 29 yards, 5 plays following the fumble recovery.
Well, a little power football here. Just run it up inside, get your big man running. That's Cedric Benson. The power by that offensive line gets him that 1 yard he needs for the score.
And Benson, his 49th career touchdown here at Texas, his 2nd tonight. Jeffrey the holder, Mangum the kicker, and it is good. And the Longhorns, with 5:10 remaining in the 2nd quarter, make it 34-0. 34-0 Texas. Bill and Gary Reason's up top. Let's go down below to John Radigan.
I tell you what, Bill, a lot of emotion on these sidelines. The University of Texas, maybe a bit of a sigh of relief when they scored that last touchdown. Believe it or not, both sidelines have come up to me. Someone from each sideline has come up as the kickoff goes now and said, hey, we remember 2 years ago, it was 27-0. It was 27-0 at halftime 2 years ago. It was 27-0 at the end of the game. The North Texas players were hoping they could hold it to 27-0 again this year. The Texas players said, we don't think that's going to happen. They have obviously avoided that and thus breathed a little sigh of relief. It's 34-0 now, guys.
Mac Brown, a happy bunch. Thank you, John. As his club, they've scored on all but one possession. They turned that one over on downs and very easily could have kicked a field goal if they had so chosen. Meanwhile, Darrell Dickey's seen his club, when they have moved it, they've turned it over. 3 fumbles lost tonight for UNT. Muzzy's return sets it up at the 23-yard line, where it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Mean Green.
Well, you got to get a little bit of a swagger on your offense there for North Texas. They're coming out, don't have a whole lot of enthusiasm in that offensive huddle right now. Scott Hall doing what he can, clap a little bit, get a little leadership there, a little presence. A senior quarterback needs to calm these guys down. Hey, you can't beat this football team you're playing. At least try to do something productive and don't make mistakes.
And it won't get easier for North Texas. They got Florida Atlantic to home opener next week, but then they go on the road for 2 more Big 12s at Colorado and at Baylor. Last year they pounded Baylor for a big win. Passing on 1st and 10 and complete to Quinn. The Texas good pursuit and coverage.
Well, and also for the Mean Green offense, they've taken Patrick Cobbs out of the football game. Put another running back in there. That's Kevin Moore, number 30. Going to be back there at the tailback spot for North Texas.
He's a sophomore from Houston out of North Shore High School. Last year, a lot of kick return action, but did carry it 68 times for 267 yards.
Don't take anything away from Patrick Cobbs. He's a great running back. He does exactly what the North Texas style of play is, but I'll tell you, he's just gone up against a great defense here with the Longhorns.
2nd down and 8. Ball at the 25. Hall in trouble as they come after him. It is complete as Blunt got the blunt end of it after making the grab with one hand. Wright was putting the pressure on Hall.
1 yard to the 26.
Scott Hall here, get a little pressure on him there. He wants to throw it right there. He pulls it down, then just trying to throw it away. Good pressure there. Roderick Wright up front. He's going to be one of the stalwarts here for this defensive front here for the Longhorns. Expecting to have a big year. Preseason Big 12.
Well, he and Wright he and Johnson creating a lot of havoc here in this first half tonight. 3rd and 7. Johnson's got 6 tackles and forced 2 fumbles. A near pick here by Huff in the secondary. And again, now they're coming after Hall with some pressure as he's trying to throw the football. So for UNT fans, they're saying, hey, why didn't you throw it early? That's why.
Well, you look at number 90 here. He's just going to come zing right there inside on Scott Hall, and pretty good shot on him. Doesn't have a chance to really look from way downfield.
So UNT will punt it away again tonight. The 5th punt of the night. The other 3 possessions, they turned it over with fumbles. So Brad Cadlebar comes on. He's averaging 38.8 in the kicking game tonight. Selvin Young again is the deep man. Nearly blocked it. Poor kick. Good roll. For UNT, it rolls inside the 30 to 25-yard line, and Texas will take over on its own 25-yard line. Good pressure on the kick, and may have got a touch on it. Let's see.
Well, number 21, Eric Foreman. I think he's actually a backup quarterback or defensive back. Almost gets him one there.
And a 48-yard kick officially.
Trying to make a play. That would have been pretty special for the young man.
Everybody looking for playing time. Foreman doing his best. Texas offense, 7 possessions, 4 TDs, a couple of field goals. And now with 4 minutes to go in the half, you know they like nothing better than to march it right down for 7 more. Vince Young slides in another. Selvin Young needs to beat a man. Got 1 block, steps forward, 30. And dives out near the 35-yard line. Covington covering on the play.
Well, misdirection screenplay. Try to fake it to the wide side and just toss it back to Selvin Young here on the short side. Pump left, throw it back right to number 3. And what he does here, he has patience. Wait for your blockers to get there. Good job. He waits for that one. Gets up the field here. Another block, and pretty good positive play there on the screen.
9 yards on the pickup. It leaves him a 2nd and 1. And this usually means a little bit of excitement offensively. Instead, the mundane. And a fumble up the middle, and UNT. Well, we haven't seen it yet. Looks like Texas maintains possession as Owasum caused the fumble, and then is recovered by Enard, the wide receiver, Eric Enard.
Handoff inside here to Matthews. The ball pops out right there at the end. Owasum does cause the fumble, Bill. Enard comes up with it, as you said.
Texas over 300 yards in total offense right now. They averaged last year 439 a game, number 20 in the country. And North Texas defensively last year allowing just 104 yards rushing per game. 324 total. Will not give that up here in the first half. Young in trouble, unloads it and throws it away. Good pressure by UNT as they contained him that time.
Oh, that's what you can do when you're 6'5" and you're strong and athletic. Vincent Young there under duress. Looks like he's going to go down with the sack, but he has enough presence of mind to just throw the ball down the field and away and avoid that loss. Good job by the quarterback.
Brandon Monroe put the pressure on there, force him to hurry that pass and get rid of it. Texas no worse for the wear, though. 2nd and 10 now. Ball on the 44 of the Longhorns. Clock at 2:37 in the first half remaining. 3 wideouts, 2 to the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom. Vince Young operates out of the shotgun. Selvin Young across the 50 and down to the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. Sean Early makes the tackle, a junior from Jacksonville, Texas.
That's what you do in between plays. Get a little exercise on the bike.
Ryan Carter
didn't get his workouts in this week, Bill, so they said, go ahead, get on the bike. Get your little roll in action there.
I thought that was you that was going to throw him off of there and say you missed one yesterday.
I definitely missed my workout yesterday.
We'll get it in tonight, post-game. Just a different variety. North Texas trying to stop Texas. They're 3 of 7 in third downs. Make it 4 of 8. Selvin Young, 20, 15, 10. Young, he's in. Touchdown, Texas. A great run. On the play.
Well, one of the things that Mac Brown, Greg Davis talk about for their offense is explosive plays, and this is certainly explosive in the run game. Anytime they have a rush over 12 yards, they consider it an explosive play. A 16-yard or more pass play, it's explosive. Selvin Young, Cedric Benson, Vincent Young, all of them making those explosive plays tonight for the Longhorns.
40-0. And Selvin Young, 7 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mangum point after, and he hits it straight through again. 41-zip. So Selvin Young gets the congratulations, and yeah, the explosive plays could abound for Texas this year. They have so many people that are capable of it.
Well, they talk about, they chart plays, offensively, defensively, explosive plays. Hey, and they're not, what is it, 9-0, Bill, or some tremendous number.
34-0. When they have combined winning the turnover battle and the explosive plays.
That's a great stat, and that's something that they mark their offense and defensive performance on. Selvin Young showing why he's a guy that they look to here at the University of Texas to have a bright future. Came on the scene a year ago and did the kick return duty, spot duty in the running back position, but right now selling in very well alongside Cedric Benson.
Selvin Young out of Jersey Village as Mac Brown. Oh, he's got to be pleased, I'll tell you. Texas just manhandling UNT, and we're not trying to sugarcoat. It's a very good UNT ball club. This is a veteran team. It's been picked to win the Sun Belt Conference for a 4th consecutive year, and Texas has had an answer for anything UNT has tried, and meanwhile the Mean Green, they're lacking any kind of momentum at all right now and just trying to get back into the house for halftime.
Well, really the biggest question mark about Texas and its offense in particular was the wide receivers. Haven't had a chance to even get to the wide receiver play in this ball game because they've run the ball so well here on the offensive side of the ball.
And the kickoff by McGee. And Muzzy is stopped near the 21-yard line, and that's where UNT will get possession with 1:52 to go here in the first half.
Texas rushing the ball tonight, Bill. 30 rushes for 258 yards. That's a huge accomplishment for that offense here in just the first half alone. Cedric Benson obviously a big part of that, having a good running effort tonight, and see Selvin Young taking a little break there on the sideline.
First and 10 at the 21 for North Texas. Another shotgun. Hall. And the pass incomplete. Right through the hands that time of Kevin Howard, a senior out of Dallas Carter High School. Well, and you mentioned, Garrett, the receivers. So what do you do if you're Mac Brown? You're up 41-0. You want to work in your passing game, but on the other hand, it looks like you're rubbing it in if you go get some easy scores by throwing the football.
You know, I think most coaches understand that you're just trying to operate, not trying to run things up. Mac Brown realizes, hey, we got to go out there and get some work, and we're going to play effectively. And he's very pleased with how well his team is performing tonight, but he wants these guys to go out there and get better each snap they're out there.
Scott Hall down the middle. Muzzy hammered and incomplete. Texas Huff covering on the play.
Well, Michael Huff settled in nicely there at the free safety spot, just reading the throw of Scott Hall. We saw him try to undercut earlier in the ball game and try to get an interception. That ball was right there up for grabs, and Huff makes a nice break on it, breaks up the throw.
Third and 10 at the 21 for UNT. Hall again out of the shotgun. Keeps the football. Now pitches. Oh, mother. What a load hit Kevin Moore. Goodness gracious. Is that Brown that hit him?
That was Terrell Brown,
yes.
number 5 on the outside. Watch how late Scott Hall pitches this ball. Late, and then Brown right there on Moore for the tackle. That's a big hit.
Kevin Moore fortunate to just hang on to the football as Terrell Brown, the sophomore from Mesquite North, 6 foot 185, laid it on it. 4th and 13, and North Texas will punt it again, as this time Cadlebar stands inside his own 5. Looks like Ross is deep to return this one as Selvin Young getting a breather, and it rolls out of bounds. We hesitate because there's 2 31s for Texas. Aaron Ross, I believe, was the deep man on that. Matters little now as Texas will get possession with 43 seconds to go.
Well, Matt Brown, you look at him, a little bit different than he came here 7 years ago, but I tell you, the production that he's had over the course of time, a lot of pressure here in college football, a lot of pressure at the University of Texas. There are some people that even talk about possibly Matt Brown, if they don't win it all this year, that he'd be in jeopardy here, but that is so far from the truth because he is entrenched here. He's done so well in the community, so well at the university, and so well financially to support everything that's grown at the University of Texas. They're very, very pleased with Mac Brown and what he's done. You know, Bill, one little stat here. You see this immense stadium here that we have in front of us here, and all the fans and everyone coming here. Since Mac Brown has come here, they have increased ticket sales, 27,000 season tickets since Mac Brown has set foot on campus. That's a tremendous feat, and it's a credit to him and what he's put here in this program.
Yeah, those that think that he is on some hot seat are just absolutely nuts. That's all you can say. That he is entrenched and should be for what he has done here with this program. As Texas once again one of the top 10 in the country. Young across the middle and complete out to the 47-yard line and complete to Carter, junior out of the Woodlands. Clock 31 seconds now remaining as they move the chains, and then they'll restart.
Yeah, just to hurry up here. They're not using the timeouts, but they're trying to do the hurry up drill here, get Vincent Young a chance to use that here at the end of this first half.
Texas leading 24-0 at the end of the quarter. 41-zip now after that 16-yard play. Little flip to Cedric Benson. He tight ropes out of bounds near the 49-yard line. Stops the clock with 20 seconds. Sean Early on the play.
Well, obviously well in front of this ball game, 41-0, but this is the drill that you want to do for your football team. Put your offense out there in a 2-minute drill against another opponent instead of yourselves, a chance to work on this thing. You know, it's not something they're trying to call timeouts and really do something against North Texas. More, they're just trying to work on the fundamentals of their 2-minute drill into the half drill where they're trying to move the ball down the field.
Well, you find it hard to believe that Texas, without 19 seniors from last year's 10-3 bunch, because this group has looked like a well-oiled machine, as a timeout is called here with the final seconds of the first half. Bill Lamb, Gary Reasons, John Radigan with you. Want to remind you to stick around with us. Halftime, we'll, among other things, visit with DeLoss Dodds, the athletic director, who has certainly been instrumental in Texas' rise to prominence in so many sports, not just football. We'll also have a little interview with Mac Brown that some of you have had the opportunity to catch a few weeks ago on Big 12 Showcase, where we talk a little bit about Mac's career and why he ended up here at Texas and some of the people that he's followed. You saw Dick Tomey there just briefly in the picture, the one-time head coach at Arizona, and boy, he's been a nice presence here coming in as a newcomer.
Yeah, a little different presence, obviously different perspectives with the 49ers a year ago as a consultant, and Mac Brown brought him in here to work with his defensive ends, works with the defensive side of the ball with Greg Robertson and Dwayne Aquina, the co-coordinators there on the defensive side. And Mac Brown likes the NFL mentality that these guys bring to his football team. A little bit different preparation on how they prepare, and he thinks it's a good fit.
2nd down and 8. Vince Young steps up into the pocket, now zips it to the sideline, and getting out of bounds with a 1st down in hand is Bo Scaife. Clock stops with 13 seconds.
Well, they get the 1st down. It's out of bounds, so they're moving the ball effectively without using the timeouts. Good job here by Vincent Young running this drill.
You know, Vincent Young didn't start last year until the 7th game of the season. Went 6-1 as a starter. He has made huge strides, though, in his play. 1st and 10, ball at the 40. Texas now 400 yards of total offense on 47 plays in this first half. Incredible. Young complete to Jeffrey, out of bounds with 10 seconds to go.
Well, it all looks good there up front here for Vincent Young. Obviously, the reason he's able to throw the ball is the protection. Look at the offensive line play. They're picking up the North Texas stunts here. Everybody in there. The pocket, the pressure. Look at the presence that he has here. Nobody really getting in the way for Vincent Young to throw the football.
Young is 12 of 18 in the air tonight, 147 yards. Benson's run for 141 on 12 carries. Selvin Young scored a couple of touchdowns to boot. Again, complete with about 5 seconds and did not get out of bounds. They call a timeout. Yes, they do, with 2 seconds to go.
They're going to trot the field goal unit on here to try a long field goal. Close to 48 yards or so, Bill, 49.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to mark it at the 35 or 31. You're right. And so about a 48-yarder. Well, his current drive, 38 yards, took 6 plays, 41 seconds. As Texas will see if it can tack on 3 more. 41-0. Longhorns leading UNT. And certainly 80,000 that showed up here tonight expected a Texas win and expected a good performance. I don't know if anyone, including Mac Brown, expected to just dominate a good UNT team the way they have.
Well, all the performance that the offense have had here, running the football with the balance with Young and Benson, it's been pretty impressive. Mac Brown has got to be pleased primarily with those guys, but the offensive line doing the blocking and getting the holes for those guys to operate is really what's been the key to this football game.
All right, we'll see what they set up here as should be a 48-yarder for the Texas Longhorns. Dusty Mangum. Last year his longest was 45 yards. His freshman year he had a 51-yard against North Carolina. From 48 yards out, Jeffrey Holden, good snap, good hold, and Mangum's kick is long enough. And it is good, like everything else that Texas has done this half. Wow, what a first half performance by the Longhorns. And Mangum getting congrats as if he just won the Big 12 championship.
That's a big kick, 48 yards.
And let's go down to John Radigan with it's got to be a pretty happy Mac Brown.
No doubt about that, Mac. You had to over 50 plays, over 400 yards, almost a perfect offensive performance in the first half.
Well, the guys did a good job, and our defense started it with 3 and outs, and we had them into the win, so we jumped out 17-0 quickly. And they're a team that has more trouble when they get from behind because they're not a drop-back passing team. So we kind of put them behind the 8 ball to start with. What we've got to do is 2 years ago we were sitting here 27-0. They outplayed us the second half. Where this team needs to grow up, so we need to learn to play with a lead.
And that's what you go tell them now.
It's exactly what we tell them. Still got 30 minutes. We need to play hard.
That's great. We appreciate it, Mac. Thank you very much. That's Mac Brown. His team up 44-0. Bill, back upstairs to you.
And Beaver. 5-0-1. Ought to be a little perkier than that with that performance. 44-0. Thank you, John, and thanks to Mac Brown. Halftime. We'll visit with Mac. We visit a showcase interview and find out a little bit more behind the scenes of Mac Brown when we come back here in Austin.
The only show in the Southwest to bring you one.
Longhorns, 44-0 at the half. Bill Lamb, Gary Reasons, John Radigan, the crew with you here. And we'll have a chance to take a look at the drive charts of the first half. And certainly in an all-Texas performance, take a look here at how things went. And you can see Texas scoring on every possession in the first quarter, Gary.
Well, that's the first quarter. You see the 1, 2, 3 marks here in the end zone. Good job there by the Longhorns getting things going. It's exactly how Mac Brown wanted to start this football game. The defense did their part as well, stopping North Texas 3 times in that first quarter.
And then in the second quarter for the Texas Longhorns, and again, Magnum a 23-yard field goal. They did turn the ball over on downs 1 time before scoring their last 3 possessions.
Obviously, just a great performance offensively here for Texas in the first half, and coming out getting the ball to start the second half as well.
And the kickoff out of bounds. It'll be Texas taking over near the 30. Let's take a look at the first half stats that are absolutely just mind-boggling when you take a look at what didn't they dominate.
Well, overall total yards, that's what you have to look at there. 409 yards for the Longhorns, doing a great job on defense against North Texas, allowing only 55 yards. Time of possession huge. They've been on the field a long time, that offense has, for Longhorns, and they've had a lot of production for it as well, and 44 points to show for it.
And Texas, 1st and 10 from its own 29-yard line to start the second half. Young, 40, 45, 50, and Young sheds another tackler down to the 40-yard line. Vince Young tackled by Michael Pruitt, the senior from El Reno, Oklahoma, that is.
It's a zone read play again here to start this second half, and Vince Young fakes it inside to Cedric Benson, turns around the corner, and the speed of the 6'5" quarterback just takes over, does a good job of eluding the cornerback, turns it up inside. Nice gain here to start the second half.
And now 33 yards on the pickup for Vince Young. He's now got 7 carries for 53 yards out of the shotgun. Plenty of time. Ball tipped and incomplete, falls near the 22-yard line. Let's take a look at what's been going on in the Big 12 today, as of course Thursday night A&M upended in Utah 41-21. Oklahoma, a good Bowling Green team, stayed with them for a while. Sooners win handily though by 16. Iowa State blanking Northern Iowa.
I think that's a good start for those guys up there.
Dan McCarney needing a victory of any kind. Oklahoma State goes to the coast and beats the Euclids at the Rose Bowl, 31-20. Baylor being hammered by UAB. Watson Brown, of course, the coach of UAB, the brother of Matt.
A lot of running game in the Oklahoma State game as well. Now let's see for the Oklahoma State Cowboys getting it down on the ground.
Benson on the carry here. We'll go back to the scoreboard for you. Tulsa and Kansas 3-3 in the third in Lawrence. Missouri putting it on Arkansas State. Of course, Brad Smith, a Heisman hopeful for the Tigers. And K-State getting a run for their money from Western Kentucky, Gary.
Well, that's a little surprising there. K-State, obviously a quality football team, and Colorado taking the early lead in the second quarter.
And Texas Tech and SMU going in front of a full house in Dallas. And Morency, I believe, ended up for Oklahoma State 262 yards rushing. UCLA has no answer for that game. UNT has no answer for that man, as Benson rattles it down inside the 10 to near the 6-yard line before Markeith Knowlton makes the tackle. It's going to be a fun year of Big 12 football. Looking forward to working with you again, Gary.
Well, that's going to be a lot of fun this year, and we're going to see a lot of great games and a lot of great players. And starting here tonight with Cedric Benson, Vincent Young, Selvin Young, a lot of talented players here. Derek Johnson for this Longhorn bunch, and I tell you, they're trying to set their sights on a championship season for this year. Like to win that Big 12 championship, and obviously, you know, their eyes and their goals here at the University of Texas are huge, and that would be a national championship. It's something that these players are all working hard for, and as a senior, Cedric Benson would like to have that very much.
Fumble as Young tries to hand off to Benson, and Vince falls back on it. Benson, 14 carries, 173 yards now.
A lot of big plays, too. We call them explosive plays. At least the Texas Longhorns coaching staff does. Take a look at what they've done here. Explosive plays, runs, 12 yards or more, 8 of them tonight. Passes, 3 of them tonight. They look for 9 of those in a game, and tonight they had 9 in the first half alone. So far, so good. Good offensive performance by the Longhorns.
And obviously winning the turnover battle as UNT fumbled it over to him 3 times in the first half tonight. Second and goal from the 10-yard line. Again, the handoff and scrambling. Benson saw that opening, couldn't quite make it. Jonas Buckles makes the tackle, the senior out of Houston from Yates High School.
I look at Cedric Benson, Bill, and I see a smoother runner this year. Last year, it seemed like he was banging it in there. A little heavier. He came in about 225, I think, a year ago. Now he's got about 215 to 218. Looks sleeker, looks quicker through the hole, and I think that's going to help him throughout this year.
6 carries, or the 6 plays, 69 yards on this opening drive in the second half, and it's 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Enard wide left. The pass going that direction and is complete. And Matthews with a reception and the touchdown. Will Matthews. And Texas, with Matthews getting his 2nd touchdown of the night, his first on a receiving end, bumps it to a half 100.
I just split the eye backs there, and fullback goes out to the flat, catches the ball and powers it into the end zone. Couple of Eagles there tried to knock him back, but the big fullback scored for the Longhorns.
They opened the 3rd quarter with a 7-play, 71-yard drive. Dusty Mangum, who had the 48-yard to end the half, now for the point after, and he's been perfect on all of those tonight, and connects here to make it 51-0 Longhorns, and 12-14 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Everybody's got to be in shape around here, not just the football team, as they're going to count them off. 51 Texas, 0 North Texas. Bill Land, Gary Reasons, John Radigan back with you here in Austin. Longhorns kick it off after taking the opening drive in for an easy touchdown, and it'll be down in the end zone by Kevin Moore. So 1st and 10 from the 20. Well, we talked about explosive plays. Mack Brown had some comments on explosive plays for the Longhorns.
There's a chance to score every time they touch it. And in talking to our defensive coaches, and especially 2 from the NFL coming in here, they feel like it puts so much pressure on the defense to make sure that they take care of every gap on every play.
They certainly have the playmakers this year. There is little question with the depth that they have offensively. Moore shed 1 tackler and turns it into a positive move as he rolls to the outside in the North Texas sideline before he's knocked out of bounds after a pickup of near 5 yards.
Again, Patrick Cobbs, the leading rusher in NCAA last year, returning from last year, out of the ball game. Let Moore take the load here, looks like, for the Mean Green at the tailback spot. Cobbs obviously had hampered by that thumb injury and wearing that soft cast tonight, as John Radigan talked about earlier. Didn't have a whole lot going for him. Didn't have a chance to get on track, so looks like you're going to go with Moore.
Cobbs 8 carries, -1 in the rushing category. All of those early on the first couple of possessions, and has not been back in since. Man in motion is Blunt on a pitch out, 2nd and 5. Tackle by Giger. Philip Giger's made some nice plays from the free safety spot tonight as Kevin Moore, the sophomore from Houston North Shore, is brought down. It'll be 3rd down and 5. 3rd and make it about 3, I beg your pardon. Officially 3rd and 2. There we go.
Well, it's a big 3rd down here for North Texas. Get a 1st down here, get some positive yardage here. Stay on the field offensively. Let the defense rest a little bit. They haven't had an answer for the Longhorns offense.
Scott Hall will bring him out. Defense fans saying bring it up here. Meanwhile, newcomers loosening up at the sideline. Timeout, Scott Hall with 11:22. .11:22 to go, and a timeout is called by the Mean Green and Daryl Dickey. A long night getting longer with it 51-0 the Texas Longhorns here. Well on his way in the season opener. Back to the action here. What's 3rd and 2, and the completion to Blunt. He's got the 1st down, and they'll mark it near the 44-yard line of UNT. Michael Huff covering on the play.
Looks like a pretty good combination. Blunt and Hall, teaming up here tonight. 3 or 4 passes together, and good job throwing the ball there on the boot pass to the tight end. Getting the 1st down, importantly here for North Texas.
16 yards on the play. First and 10 at the 44 of UNT. Again, Moore the tailback, and they give it to him. Sprints right up the middle of midfield and is popped there by Giger.
A good hold there up front that time. North Texas opened it pretty well, and speedy tailback got through there. Philip Giger put a pretty good lick on, though.
You know, North Texas, we mentioned earlier, not new to playing big-time opponents on the road. Last year, for example, they lost at Oklahoma 37-3, that monsoon that we were a part of up there, Gary, and then they bounced right back to hammer Baylor 52-14, and then lost on the road at Air Force and at Arkansas, and then went on the big winning streak to take the Sun Belt title, going unbeaten before falling to Memphis in the New Orleans Bowl. So you would expect this team to even bounce back in the second half and show a much better, not necessarily effort, but just something for their effort than what they had in the first half, because they've been a resilient bunch over the years.
Well, when John Radigan talked to Daryl Dickey, he asked him, says, hey, what are you going to do in the second half? What'd you tell the players? And he said, hey, we're looking for character. We're looking for guys who are going to play football for the full 60 minutes. And he really means that, because he's taking players that are young, inexperienced, here to Texas in a hostile environment where you have to perform. And he thinks that breeds success for them later on in their conference play. And he's done great for the last 3 years, winning the conference each year.
3rd and 5. Hall, pump fake. Incomplete, nearly picked off. Cedric Griffin had a shot at it. Junior from San Antonio Holmes.
Well, Scott Hall throws the ball out there. It's tipped a little bit, and Griffin thought he's going to have an easy catch, but another stop on downs here for the Texas defense after the first down.
Cadlebar will boot it away. Selvin Young is back in as the punt returner. He stands at the 10. There is Brad Cadlebar, who certainly a busy man in the first half. 6 punts for 42 yards per kick. High, booming punt here. Young showing fair catch. I thought he did. Apparently he did not. Ball went into the end zone. No flag thrown, as he was rocked pretty good.
He's finally going to throw a penalty there. There's a late flag coming on the play. What he does, he's actually faking the catch, because he doesn't make an attempt to catch the ball. Interesting to see how they're going to officiate this.
I think Philip Graves, number 36, the linebacker, was the man that hit him. It's a 51-yard punt. Yeah, he did not signal fair catch, but he faked as if he was going to field the football.
Personal foul on the kicking team, number 36, hitting a defenseless player 15 yards from the succeeding spot, which will be put on the 35-yard line.
Personal foul, hitting a defenseless player. He's not hitting a fair catch, but he's obviously not anywhere trying to catch the football. But you know what? The guy running down the field doesn't know that. He looks like he's trying to catch the ball, but the official is trying to protect him here with the penalty. Kind of a crazy call.
Selvin Young, no worse for the wear. Texas will take advantage field position-wise. The ball at the 35 following the penalty. Chance where the new quarterback comes in, and the first handoff comes off to Selvin Young.
He's going to get a face mask bill on the sideline.
That will be Selvin Young, flag on the play. Douglas Buckles on the tackle.
Buckles with the tackle.
Matt Nordgren now the quarterback for the Longhorns. Big 6'5" player.
On the defense, number 1, 5 yards from the end of the run, still first down.
No Chance Mock started, as you talked about earlier, Bill, for the first 7 games last year for the Longhorns. Young man who's also a backup quarterback here now for Texas. Had some ankle injury problems, and so Nordgren getting a chance, the junior quarterback here, a chance to drive the ship, so to speak.
First and 10 at the 35. First and 1, and the run right up the middle. That'll move the chains for the first down. So Mac Brown, take a look at his club saying, all right, Vince Young got plenty of time in this first half, and then the start of the second half. You got 51 points. You don't want to pour it on one hand. You also don't want to risk injury here either, do you, Gary?
No, I think Vince Young had a great night tonight. Threw the ball effectively, ran the ball effectively. Had a lot of comfort, a lot of control out there. The poise that I think that Mac Brown talked about was on display tonight. He's grown up quite a bit from his freshman campaign.
Hand off to Selvin Young. Loss on the play, back near the 43-yard line.
So got a bunch of new offensive linemen in there as well, trying to get some guys some quality time, some experience here in this football game.
8:28 and counting here in this third quarter for the University of Texas. Norgren last year played in 5 games as the #3 quarterback, was 1 of 2 in passing for 6 yards. Had some action against Baylor on the rollout here, and he completes it to Selvin Young. Young slips a tackle across the 50. Back near first down territory in a 2nd and 13 play. TJ Covington makes the tackle.
We'll bring up about a 3rd and 6, I think, Bill.
If you're wondering about Chance Mock, the senior has fought a little bit of an ankle problem this year, and chance here to get Norgren some valuable playing time with, boy, what a break to get extended playing time, Gary, against a quality opponent.
Yeah, good defense. I mean, the North Texas is no poor defense out there. They just going into an explosive team right now, just got everything going for them.
He avoided one defender, now scampers out of bounds, and a flag is thrown back behind him on the run. He did not get the first down on the run. It was a 3rd and 6.
Initial call is holding against the offense, against the Longhorns. Going to be short of the first down where he stepped out of bounds. North Texas could choose to refuse this penalty and bring up a 4th down.
Holding number 78 of the offense. That penalty is declined.
That's what will happen. We'll bring up 4th and about 6 yards. Almost 7.
So the punting game, something we haven't seen from Texas thus far, as Richmond McGee, the punter, last year averaged 40.9, and also does the kickoff duties. Junior from Garland stands on his 35-yard line. And he gets this one off. They will let it bounce. Texas will down it inside the 25-yard line, and that's where UNT will take over with 7:10 remaining here in the third quarter. It's all Longhorns. 51. Missed a 9-yard pickup here for UNT as Hall brings them out on a 2nd down and 1. The ball at the 32-yard line, and a quick hitting play here as they go to Moore. He is upended and is short of the first down on a 2nd and 1. Boy,
pretty good pop by Eric Hall, number 49 there. Hitting Moore right at the line of scrimmage. Not going to allow him the first down. Playing off the block.
Just in case he was going to miss him, Derek Johnson came flying through.
Derek was the flyby, huh?
That's right.
Watch number 11 fly by there from the outside, knocking a helmet loose. All kinds of things.
3rd down and 1 now for UNT. And you can tell this Texas defense has not lost a bit of its fire. They're wanting to shut him down right here. Moore again, the carrier. Aaron Harris, the junior out of Mesquite North, making the tackle. Well, the Texas defense Greg Robinson coming in here from, we're talking about the NFL. You see Coach Tomey also there has been a big help. And both of them talking about just what a great combination they have with their staff, Gary.
They really do. They think that everything is kind of in place for them here. They're working well together. He said the kids have bought into the small changes that they've made here, and a little bit of a different attitude. And these guys are showing that they've got a lot of capabilities as a defensive unit here, playing very, very well tonight, and got some depth. And they're getting that depth, a little experience here as well.
Well, they forced the punt situation, it would appear. Ross is the deep man this time. Aaron Ross on a 4th and 1, less than 1. Officially at the 33-yard line. Cadlebar just did get it off. They came after him pretty good. Ross, 25, 35, 40, and scrambling across the 41. You get your opportunities, better make the most of them. That's what some of these guys are finding out here in the second half for Texas. And a timeout is called with 5:01 to go in the third quarter. 51-0 long. Mac Brown out visiting with Matt Nordgren, his quarterback, who's come on to replace Vince Young. You see why with this one well in hand. Bill Landgary reasons and John Radigan with you. Texas at the moment 490 yards of total offense. North Texas 93. As Nordgren, Selvin Young beside him in the backfield. 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom, and Texas 1st and 10 from its 41. And again, Nordgren keeps 40, 35, 30. Big fella shows he knows what to do with it at 6'5", 232 out of Bishop Lynch High School in Dallas.
Well, good job reading that play that Vincent Young does so well. It's a zone read. He's reading the defensive end. You're going to come in with my dive back. I'm going to pull the ball, run around the corner. Number 7 on the offensive side looks like he's got some wheels also. Got number 7 on the defensive side as well, that being Cedric Huff.
Knowlton made the stop. A lot of double numbers here in Texas. Got to be careful before you throw a name out there. There's the rushing story tonight. Wow.
Michael Huff, excuse me, and number 7 for the defense.
Nordgren, and whistle stops the play before it develops, showing a handoff to Selvin Young.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. Number 79, 5 yards, remains first down.
Texas now with 522 yards of total offense. Penalty will push it back for 1st and 15. Ball on the 32. Young right up the middle. Breaks another one. Drags one with him across the 15 to the 14-yard line. An 18-yard pickup before Markeith Knowlton makes the tackle.
Well, they parted the defensive tackles that time right up the middle of the field. Watch the cross block here. It's a counter gap action that you've seen so much, but it opens up inside. Selvin Young doesn't bring it around the corner. Good job that time by the Longhorns offense, picking up everybody on the defensive side, and another explosive play here for Texas.
1st and 10 at the 14 of North Texas. Now Selvin Young over 100 yards. Well, actually 100 on the nose. 11 carries for him and 2 scores. Matthews with a couple of touchdowns. Benson a couple. Selvin Young slides forward, picks up a couple.
It's interesting, the variations of how people have gone and to use that counter blocking that the Redskins in the late 80s or early 80s started to use. It's that backside guard and tackle. They pull in front, and the Longhorns are using it here with a shotgun, and they're handing it off inside to Selvin Young or Cedric Benson, or the quarterback is taking it. A lot of different variations, a lot of smart coaches out there, trying to do different wrinkles to confuse defenses.
And Young gets a breather here. It's like Taylor's coming the ball game here. And the handoff to him. And he squirts forward, nearly getting a touchdown on his first touch. So you get Benson gets his 181 and 2 scores. You get Selvin Young over the century mark and 2 scores. And then Taylor's first carry. Watch out.
Well, he thinks he's going to the house on this one. Good pancake block inside. One of the big offensive linemen did a good job there. And then Taylor here trying to stretch it out. Gets to about the 2.
First and goal on the 2-yard line. And they bull forward. No signal yet, as wait and see as they unpile. As Hardy was getting the carry here. Albert, his first run of the night. He's a sophomore from Houston, Galena Park. Daryl Dickey looking on. Hoping his club will learn something from this one here tonight. One thing you better learn is you better keep after it, because if not, it'll really get out of hand. Touchdown here. Norgren carries it in, and that makes it 57-0. The second score in the second half for Texas as Norgren gets on the board in the scoring column.
Well, a little power here to get the offensive line going. Norgren didn't even wait for his center to move. He says, I'm going to take this one right in myself. And the old orange into the end zone once again. A little extra double duty here now over Norgren, holding for the PAT.
3 yards officially on the touchdown run. And that'll bring on Mangum, as Gary mentioned. Norgren to hold here for the PAT. Beg your pardon, Pino, the substitute kicker, is coming in, and he takes care of business as well. It makes it 58-0. Let's go down to John Radigan with former Texas basketball great TJ Ford.
How about that? TJ Ford here at the game, and TJ Ford enjoying this, aren't you, TJ? 58-0.
Of course, I'm enjoying it. I'm glad that they're getting off to a good start to get the fans back on their side with the tough season that they had last year.
Every Texas fan was so scared and nervous for you when you went down. You had to miss basically the last part of the NBA season this year. You've been rehabbing. How's your neck?
Everything's been going as well. I mean, we're right on schedule as far as to rehab, and with the surgery went well, and just really taking our time, making sure that I'm 100% before I come back. So we're not really trying to rush anything, because, you know, the NBA season is very long, so I want to make sure that I have a long career.
Do you think you'll be there for the start of training camp, or what, maybe be delayed a little bit?
I'm not really sure. You know, as of right now, they're not giving me any dates or any time period where I'll be back, so it's all up to the doctors and what they feel my health is at the time.
I know one of the things you're doing here in Austin right now is basically launching in this area the TJ Ford Foundation. That must be very special.
Well, it's something that we've been in the making for the past year, and it's something that, you know, I want to be a part of and have people know that I'm going to give back to the community and do much as possible. As far as tonight, have a party on 6th Street tonight prior to the football game, and some of the donations, well, most of the donations going, you know, to help some type of kid, or pretty much to help donate back to the community.
So basically, you donate back to the Houston community, the Austin community, the Milwaukee community. You're really spreading the wealth a lot.
Well, I like to do a lot of community work, because, you know, as a kid, I want to be able to be touchable or be reachable to kids, and just let them know that, you know, I still feel like I'm like a regular person. I'm no bigger than anyone else.
Great stuff, TJ. Thanks very much. Good luck in the rehab. That is TJ Ford enjoying a Longhorn victory, guys.
Thank you, John. Nothing regular about him. What a sensational player. He was here and is now in the NBA. We wish him the best in his health. Moore with the run, and a flag thrown on the return as he gets it out near the 30-yard line. And the tackle by Griffin. Marcus Griffin with the stop after a 15-yard return. We'll see if it stands.
Well, that basketball program here at the University of Texas, that's pretty special also, Bill.
Yeah, Rick Barnes is, well, when he got TJ Ford to put him over the top, too, they had some great players, but he got him there to that Final Four.
Number 30, 5 yards from the end of the run, first down.
And the overall excellence of this Texas program is something that is just about unsurpassed anywhere in the country, with everything from facilities to athletes to people like TJ Ford, who then come back to give again to a school that has given them so much. And the new quarterback is Joey Byerly. He is a big one. They list him at 6'4", 254. Byerly keeping it on his first opportunity, gets back to near the line of scrimmage at the 34-yard line. Stopped by Robert Killebrew, a redshirt freshman from Spring, Texas, out of Klein High School. And there's the numbers on Byerly from Orange, Texas. Byerly, looks like he's checking his wrist for some plays there, Gary.
Well, he's probably reading that wristband, want to make sure that he calls everything correctly. Not as polished as a Scott Hall, who's been under that center quite a bit. Freshman in there. Big kid, though, as you talked about, Bill, and I think they're pretty excited about his future.
Yeah, certainly a raw one who's getting broken in here in Austin. And flag is going to be thrown here.
On the offense, 5 yards. Down remains the same.
Second and 16. Now from the 49.
Well, you find out, guess what, son? If you can handle it here, you'll certainly handle it in the Sun Belt.
No doubt about that.
And you never know when you're needed, because we talked about the remembering of Andrew Smith, the UNT quarterback who was tragically killed in the automobile accident. He got a big start here of coming in for an injured Scott Hall 2 years ago and helped lead that team. Now, Byerly in trouble, escapes a couple, passes deflected, nearly intercepted.
You know, it was Robert Killebrew again, number 40, playing the weak side linebacker, just pursuing and almost comes up with a huge play. The ball hits him in the chest and bounces back. Byerly trying to just get out of harm's way and throw the football down the field with Killebrew, number 40. Young man I've known for a long time. Played with my son in high school down in the Klein, Texas area. Good to see Robert continuing his career here with the Longhorns.
And by the way, congrats to your son Nick, part of Nicholls State in their season opening win over against Eastern Washington the other night.
It's fun to see these young men grow up and launch their college football careers, and you know, it's a lot of fun for these guys, and it builds character, and that's what these coaches are all about, building character with these young men, and they'll remember these experiences for the rest of their lives.
3rd and 16, and the pass is complete out in the flat, and then the tackle made as catching the football for UNT, Mitchell, and making the stop was Michael Griffin.
Well, you just see here on the defense now that the Longhorns, they have all their substitutes in the football game, but you see the talent level they have, the speed. They just kind of retool, and it's a chance for these younger players to come in and get some quality game experience.
Number 31, 5 yards from the end of the run.
And get 5 more yards here at the end of this play. When you get these guys out there, Bill, as you talked about, you never know if someone's going to be needed. A chance to get into a football game and step up. Anytime an injury occurs, whoever's next on that depth chart has to perform, and these coaches don't expect anything less. These guys, they practice every day. They all go through the same drills, and everything is built on one thing, and that's a team effort. And they're all happy to be out there performing, and it's a good, fun opportunity, I think, for both teams, because with North Texas, you've got some of their reserves in there as well.
Yeah, as we mentioned with Byerly, also Nevins has been in there, and now they'll break with a 4th down and a 3rd down. And we got 4th and 16 to go. Byerly, he goes forward and is stopped shy. I beg your pardon, I think we had 4th and 16 on our screen. It was actually, and that's what they had on the scoreboard here, but it was actually a 3rd down and about 6. So everybody having trouble paying attention when it gets to 58-0. Dibbles made the tackle that time for Texas. Larry is a junior from Lancaster, Texas. Final seconds of the 3rd period, counting down here as Candlebar in to kick. Aaron Ross is deep at his own 22 for the Longhorns. See if Texas is going to get the opportunity here. Yep, they will. Oh, almost blocked again. Ross Simmons, a fair catch. He touched it and then dives on it. And that ends the 3rd quarter. Longhorns pick up 14 more after a 44-0 halftime lead, and it's 58-0 after 3 here in Austin. We'll be back with a 4th quarter.
And his jersey, they should match, right, Bill? But, well, we've got it here on our books now, 31. I don't know if it should be 31 of the jersey or not, but nonetheless, it's a touchdown. How are they going to score that one? Give it to 31 or 46?
Well, he's 5'11", 234, sophomore from Angleton, Texas. I guess you could add it up, and then he'd be Kyle Thornton, 77.
Add him up. Huge run there, Ron, that set that touchdown up. Was it Taylor?
Yes. Boy, they're really making everybody pay attention when they say, all right, let's just put a different jersey on you out here. And the drive for plays 87 yards. Taylor had the big one, was 74 yards of that, I believe it was. Texas will kick it off again from the goal line. Moore. 30, 35, and scampers out of bounds.
You know, I just noticed something there on that kickoff, Bill. The ball is kicked right behind the receiver. The cannon goes off, and we feel that cannon all the way up here, so you've got to know the returner is on the field feeling that just as he catches the ball. That thing packs a pretty good punch down there. And it's telling you, run.
Just in case you need any motivation. All right, there's Ahmad Hall. Celebrates his touchdown.
There you go. Got the headshot, got everything up there. We got you ID'd. Got a little smile on his face.
Give his dues and our apologies. Kevin Moore sprints it out across near the 47-yard line. Moore, last year, 3 touchdowns, carried 68 times, 267 yards. And tonight, Moore now with 8 carries for 23 yards. North Texas, 30 yards rushing on 21 attempts. And the passing game, 9 of 19 for 84 yards.
Well, they outfit them early here, Bill. I'll tell you, merchandise. That's one of the things that Texas has done extremely well over the years. And right now, that in the NCAA, there's a lot of logos and stuff out there, but Texas ranks overall 3rd in retail merchandise sales across the country. They're only behind 2 schools. They're North Carolina and Michigan, and it's a pretty good mark there. That logo is everywhere. And Texas tradition, everywhere here in Austin you go to, you see a lot of that burnt orange color. And, this program has done so well under Mac Brown. One of the things that is interesting to talk about here at the University of Texas, we talk about their athletic programs, and they're actually working this year on an $80 million athletic budget. And that funds a lot of the activities here. And football obviously draws in the most revenue for that. $55 million this year is going to be generated through football to support the athletic programs here. And it all goes back to the students, to the facilities. And it's a first-class environment, and obviously a first-class educational opportunity here at the University of Texas.
Certainly done it right here, and Mac Brown has been the latest architect of the success story for the Longhorns, and well on his way to a successful start here in 04 with a 65-0 pounding here of North Texas. And let's go down quickly to John for an injury update.
Yeah, quickly, I'll tell you, Bill, that Brian Carter, the wide receiver for the Longhorns, will not return to this game. He is out with a sore right knee. He will be reevaluated tomorrow. Over here on the North Texas sideline, we're looking at Montrell Parks, the linebacker that went down with a vicious hit on that last drive by the Longhorns. He has ice on the right knee. No official update on his condition yet, but it doesn't look like he'll be returning to this game either, guys.
Thank you, John. Scott Derry provided the collision with Joey Byerly, the North Texas quarterback.
Well, we can take a look at the end of that run there and see Byerly run. Now remember, he's 6'4", 254 pounds here, Bill. This is a big, strong quarterback running down the field. Forget the penalty there. Look at Byerly here. He's not going down. He's going forward through the. That's Robert Killebrew, the linebacker, who kind of took that blow.
Penalty will bring it back for North Texas, though, with 12:50 remaining in the game, and it's 65-0. Texas keeping you updated on their totals: 481 yards rushing. They're 15 of 22 in the passing game, and a total of 641 yards. 160 passing, 41 rushing, and again, 51 is needed to tie that record set against Rice. And the most impressive thing might be per play. They're 9 yards per play, the Longhorns, to 2.9 for North Texas.
9 yards per play. Most games you're looking at 5 to 6 yards per play on performance offensively, and that's a tremendous output here offensively for the University of Texas.
Cedric Benson been relaxing for quite a while after his 15-carry, 181-yard performance with 2 scores. Of course, Texas needs a little rest here. They got a nice opener, but next week it's the University of Arkansas.
Had a chance
on
to
the road.
Yeah, I visited with Cedric a little bit yesterday, and he really did look relaxed. He looks relaxed tonight. Looked relaxed running the football, and looks like he's poised to have a big year here for the Longhorns.
Byerly keeps the football, gets back to the 47-yard line. Mentioned earlier some comments of Mack Brown about Darrell Dickey. Certainly has great respect for him.
Darrell is a star now. It's just that people are just starting to realize how good he is. I think he'll have coaches or athletic directors from all over the country trying to get him every year now at North Texas. His run for 3 years has been so consistent that that's not going to change. We're really impressed with the way they're coached.
Darrell at 43 years old and leading his team to 3 straight Sun Belt titles. This pass by Byerly is dropped by Moore. You know, last year, Gary, you take a look, they go 7-0 in the league, 9-4 overall. The year before, 8-5 overall, 6-0 in the Sun Belt. And then his first title, they went 5-7 overall, but 5-1 in the league. And he took over a program that was about as far down as you can get. They too are getting an increase in some facilities and making their inroads in Division 1A football.
They really are. Then people are looking at North Texas, looking at Darrell Dickey, looking at the program, and he's going to be a coach that is sought after. So if they want to keep him in North Texas for any duration, they're going to have to do something to sweeten the pot, I think, here in the near future.
The kick by Kettelbar, and fair catch called, and Texas runs away from it. And it'll be tags inside the 30-yard line, and that's where the Longhorns will take over with 10:53 remaining in the football game.
Well, Bill, what do you think about the new Bevo? A little different color, right? It's got a little more cream, a little color on the side.
Well, who gets credit for this victory? 13 or 14? So it's 13.
Is it split?
Led at the half. Yeah, they give them a half victory.
So what does the old Bevo do? Where are we going with the old Bevo?
There's 14, looking fresh.
So 13's going to be have a chance to just go relax now, right? 20 years in, you got 20 years of service in, so you're going to get your pension, or how does that work?
It's not turning into tomorrow's barbecue.
No, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to. John might have some answers on that. He's been down there with them a little bit.
Been all over the Bevo story tonight. Here's Texas again with the running game, and the Longhorns getting everybody into the act early tonight, and Palmer, the Hobbs, the ball carrier that time. See McCoy also in, as we've seen just. I was looking earlier, there's about 10 sets of double numbers on the Texas squad, but as we've noticed, there's been more than that tonight because of the strange circumstances of the 65-0 game. And now Texas with it 2nd and 5 at the 36-yard line. Nordgren hands it off, and nothing doing this time on the 2nd down play as Knowlton makes the tackle.
Well, it looks like the Texas defense is poised to get a shutout. 65 points unanswered. North Texas hasn't found a way to move the ball when they've had the ball on offense, and that's a tremendous feat here to shut out any football team, and answer with your offense with 65. That's a tremendous number in itself, Bill.
With 9:23 to go, and there could be more in store. Jones split out wide right. Fake to Hobbs, and then the keeper by Nordgren, and he is tackled after hitting the 41. Don't know if he got the first down or not. We'll see.
Looks like he's going to be just short of it there. The line judge is going to be very, very close, probably about a foot short of that first down.
Everybody happy on that Longhorn sideline. They know with the tough Big 12 schedule, nights like this, time to sit and enjoy. Meanwhile, the opposite sideline, some long faces for UNT. The home opener against Florida Atlantic coming up next week. 6 p.m. up in Denton before they have road games against Big 12 opponents Colorado and Baylor. Then they get into the Sun Belt. 1st and 10. Handed off right up the middle that time for Texas. It's Hardy making the carry. Albert, last year as a freshman, 14 rushes, 67 yards. The 2nd and 8 after pickup of 2. And again, Hardy, as Texas just being very basic, right up the middle, not trying to do anything to add any more to this one. But you're still going to have to stop it and tackle him in order to keep him out of the end zone.
You see the man here right in the middle of your screen. That's Greg. I think that's the right man. The offense coordinator here for University of Texas.
Greg Davis.
Greg Davis. Taking it easy up there. Doing a good job here. It's the 6th year at this school and works with the quarterbacks primarily. Likes obviously what he sees and about Vincent Young and Cedric Benson here tonight.
McCoy goes to the top of the screen here with 3rd down and 7 for Texas, and Norgren again hands it off as Jones is the ball carrier this time. Harrison makes the tackle.
You talked about earlier, Bill, you know, this stadium being named Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium, named after Darrell Dickey was named after Darrell Royal.
Coaching family with
a lot of
Father
respect.
James. And
yeah.
But certainly not fond memories of tonight's contest for Darrell Dickey. Bill Land, Gary Reasons, John Radigan with you here in Austin, where the Longhorns fans have been taking their time heading for the exits, some savoring and enjoying as Darrell looks on. He's certainly not enjoying a moment of this. Penalty called against the University of Texas. Greg Johnson is the punter. And Quinn is the deep man for UNT. They'll stay away from it, and they will down it in the 15-yard line vicinity. Let's go down to John Radigan with Casey Hampton.
Oh, yeah, I tell you, there were lots of cheers in the first half of this game, obviously, with all the offensive output. But one of the biggest cheers was when big Casey Hampton was put up on the big screen here. Longhorn fans haven't forgotten, and now your NFL career is going almost as well as your college career.
It is, man. It's nice to come back out here, check my boys out, see how they're doing. And they look really, really good tonight.
You are with the Pittsburgh Steelers now. We're an all-pro, Pro Bowl player last year. You really feel like you got the basis for that right here.
Yeah, I learned a lot of what I do now right here. You know, this is where it all started at, and you know, I try to come back at least one time a year and come check them out.
And what do you think about what you've seen tonight?
They look good. I mean, offense is put up 65 points they haven't scored, so you can't ask for nothing else.
Almost a perfect game.
Almost.
Great to talk to you. Good luck this season with the Steelers, Casey. We appreciate it. That is Casey Hampton. Bill, Gary, back up to you guys.
Thanks, John. Yep.
It was fun to watch you. Big defensive lineman.
What a stud.
Move real well and having a great career in the NFL as well.
Yeah, no surprise there. Texas has churned them out. Longhorns, what's ahead at Arkansas next week. Paybacks due there. And then, of course, they've got Rice. I'll have that one for you on Fox Sports Net. Then they opened the Big 12 slate against Baylor before the game. Red River shootout in Dallas against Oklahoma.
And they also go out to Lubbock, the Texas Tech. Well, that's a kind of a scary game these days because
Mike Leach got it going out there. Yeah,
he's got a lot of stuff going on out there, and they can upset anybody out there. So a couple of games here on the schedule that are a little bit difficult now. They also travel to Texas A&M at the end of the year. That's always a big rivalry game. But the games, Oklahoma, at Texas Tech, and even at Colorado can be a little bit tricky. The Longhorns have a tough road, to get to where they want to be at the end of this season. That would be to win the Big 12 South, perhaps the Big 12 championship, and even a national championship.
Well, a nice opening statement made here tonight with it 65-0. Byerly's pass nearly picked off and then ruled incomplete out at the 22-yard line, intended for Jackson. And the Mean Green, as we mentioned, Florida Atlantic for their home opener next week in Denton before back-to-back road matchups with Colorado and Baylor.
A huge win a year ago when they defeated Baylor, and kind of a last-minute affair there against the Baylor Bears. Big win for their program under Darrell Dickey. I'm sure they'd like to try to resurrect some of that magic and perhaps have another win against a Big 12 opponent.
Colorado, by the way, tonight playing rival Colorado State, leading 17-7. That one in Boulder. Kedlebar kicking out of his own end zone. Ross, fair catch at the 45 of North Texas with 4:16 remaining. We'll take a brief timeout. We'll be back. Bevo 14 liking what he sees the first time around. 65-zip. Welcome back. Sorry we missed a few plays here as Texas they just picked up and moved on. We come back for a 3rd down and 8. You haven't missed much. The ball is at the 43-yard line. New quarterback is McCoy for Texas.
3rd and 8.
And Matthew, sophomore out of Dallas, 6'3", 195. Hands it off. And Hobbs makes it to the 38-yard line. 4th down as Allen Harrison makes the tackle. Let's go back down to John with more on Bevo and the transformation here.
Yeah, ever the intrepid reporter. I heard you guys asking what's happening to Bevo 13. This is 14, as you guys have already identified. 14 finished this game and finished the second half. 13 now goes out to pasture, but 13 was a 20-and-a-half-year-old animal. They tell me that's like a 90-year-old man. 13 now goes out to pasture. No hay and grass for him. No, they call it sweet feed. It's a mixture of corn and molasses. Sounds like something even we'd like, but that is how 13 will spend the rest of his days. And now this 2-and-a-half-year-old animal will be Bevo for years to come.
A little corn and molasses. John, let's just go to saddle up next to him there. Yeah,
I'm not riding him.
You know what, those handlers, I've been watching him a little bit. They keep clear of this one. I'm not sure that he's as docile as 13 was. So, but 13, 7 years, I guess that's dog years, like same thing. Animal, is it kind of? He's at 90 years, at 91, right?
I'm looking forward to my corn and molasses for the postgame meal here.
Okay.
Wait here. We've got 1:47 to get to it, and Texas will finally punt it away.
Nice punt.
Yep. As UNT will take over deep in its own territory. Kicker allegedly Greg Johnson from Lyron, Georgia, sophomore, 6'1", 190. Where they jostle the numbers around here, we feel pretty confident that 33-yarder, but the important was where he put it down on the 10-yard line. Nice job.
It's a good punter number too, number 97. You're not used to seeing too many of those. Usually reserved for speedy defensive linemen, but I guess when you come here to the University of Texas, it's good to have a number. It means you're out there with that football team, and Greg Johnson a chance to punt one away.
Make the comments that you like, Gary, on the top 10 college football as Oklahoma win today as North Texas takes over at its own 10.
Yeah, had a chance to watch some of that Oklahoma game. They started out pretty well, and wow, Oregon State up on LSU in the 4th quarter. That'd be a huge upset there. Georgia looked like they're going to be poised to be good this year. Number 4, Georgia. And Michigan rolling on against Miami of Ohio.
Ohio State will interstate battle there with Cincy. And West Virginia putting it all on East Carolina, 56-23. Of course, one of the premier matchups in college football has been delayed because of Hurricane Francis with Miami and Florida State that was scheduled to go Monday night. They pushed that back. We certainly wish those well that are fighting that storm down there in the Sunshine State. 1st and 10 for UNT. Byerly the quarterback again. And the pitch out. A smothering tackle that time. Jamario Thomas is a guy that got a lot of work on the last scrimmages for North Texas, and he gets his first carry of the night. Thomas is 5'11", 195, freshman out of Longview, Texas, with a Spring Hill High School. Second and 10 with 1:07 and counting. Byerly connects to Covington. He is knocked out of bounds. Griffith makes the stop there. And it'll be 3rd and 3 here for North Texas with 1 minute to go. What's Daryl Dickey take out of this one?
Tough, huh? This is a tough one here. This is not a whole lot positive for your football team. Hopefully he comes out of here healthy. He doesn't want his players to get banged up too much in a ball game like this. Been very physical. Going to get a penalty on the field here. Illegal participation. Had 12 players on the field for North Texas. He knows he's going to take his lumps with the kind of schedule that he has, Bill, early on in the season. And you know, like I talked about earlier, he tries to get character players at his program, recruiting good people, guys that have a lot of character, because they understand they're going to go through some tough times.
5 yards,
especially early in the year, and playing games that realistically they're not supposed to win. You know, North Texas, look at their program and where they're at development-wise, is not on par with what the University of Texas is. So for them to come in here and expect to do exceptionally well is really, you know, not something Daryl Dickey thought was going to happen. Not realistically. He just hopes his players are going to be be better players overall, try to get a little better each play out there. That's a little bit of coach speak, but in reality, he really is trying to get that done.
1 minute to go with a 3rd down and 7. Byerly escapes one defender, back on his own 5, still being chased. Nearly picked off. Foster, Brandon Foster, coming up with the big play. Redshirt freshman from Arlington Bowie. Boy, for people like that are getting their first action here tonight, some folks, of course, sitting here going, all right, well, what's to be gained here with those? It's valuable playing time. Any snaps that you can get these guys, you never know where they might be needed.
Well, the coaches are going to evaluate this tape. They'll evaluate these players very much so. And it's good to evaluate them against another team where you can see a little bit of different perspective. It's hard to evaluate sometimes against your own because you're not going full speed. You're not going live tackling, live blocking, all those things that you're doing here in this contest. Great punt that time by the North Texas punter.
Cadlebar, as Ross fair catches, back on his own 36-yard line. And Mac Brown, Greg Robinson visiting there with 51 seconds remaining.
I think it's a good match, those two. I think that Greg Robinson, and talking to him, he likes it here in Austin. He likes the opportunity here. He thinks that he's already taken, in his mind and his family's mind, he's made his move from the pro game back to the college game where he's had his roots as a coach, and he likes it here. He likes the opportunity to bring Texas back to, I guess, to a higher level of prominence, get to those championship level games.
McCoy again, the quarterback. Hobbs follows his blockers and picks up a few.
You know, you talk about coaches coming in here. You lose a couple of good coaches. Hardy McCrary's gone, and Carl Reese, the defensive coordinator here, and Matt Brown, you know, spoke volumes of those two guys with me about what he meant to what they meant to his program and everything. And you bring a Dick Tomey in here, brings a different perspective. Sometimes you have to change some things subtly, not a great amount, but you change things subtly to get over the hump, get over the hurdles, try to make that extra effort to get to that level where you want to be at. I think Mac Brown is real comfortable with Dick Tomey and Greg Robinson on the defensive side of the ball.
And again, Hobbs the carry. Monroe makes the tackle, and that'll do it as the Texas Longhorns convincingly shut out the North Texas Mean Green. 65-0 the final score here as Daryl Dickey comes over to congratulate Mack Brown and Texas. A 671-yard offensive performance tonight for the Longhorns, as Benson 181 and 2 touches. Young, Selvin 102 yards rushing and 2 scores. And Vince Young, impressive in both running and throwing. He threw for 153 and a touchdown on 14 of 21. And he also ran 8 times for 49 yards, and everybody got into the act.
It's one of those complete football games that you like as a coach. I know that Mack Brown is very pleased with his production offensively, defensively. Everything went the way of the Longhorns tonight. And for Daryl Dickey and the Mean Green from North Texas, well, they've got some lumps in this football game, but they'll come out of it, and they'll, like they've done the last 3 years, hopefully do well when they get to conference play and have a good season ahead of them.
So the Longhorns get everybody in, and that's certainly something that everybody's looking for on the victorious side, as Texas, seeing the eyes of Texas here and celebrate this season opening win before they take on the University of Arkansas. We'll come back and visit with some of the winners. Stay with us here as Texas wins at 65-0. 65-0 Texas. The UT Tower brightly lit with the orange with the victory for the Longhorns, and John Radigan is down with Mack Brown.
Mack Brown still exhorting the players, still having fun with them. It was a great performance. At halftime we talked about, now the only test is let's see if they can sustain it in the second half. And boy, they really did. They came right out and drove it right down the field.
Well, they did. I was really proud that we've grown up some since last year at this time in that area, and North Texas is a good football team. We just forced some turnovers tonight and got some breaks. They'll go back and win their conference championship now. The thing we didn't have, guys did everything we asked them to do tonight. We just didn't have much adversity. Next week at Arkansas, we're going to have some adversity, so we're going to have to play better next week to still win.
When you have running backs run like they did tonight, it obviously says a lot about the offensive line, doesn't it?
Well, it does. Our offensive line had not played in a game last year at this time. They're much better. They've played together now. We only lost one guy out of this group. We'll have them all back next year. So hopefully we can build on this win by running the ball more.
How important was it to get a shutout?
Well, I think it's important anytime you get a shutout. It's hard to win. It's really hard to get a shutout. And we got both of those tonight, and that should be exciting for our defensive guys going to Fayetteville.
And you mentioned Fayetteville. Is there any, can you carry momentum? I know that's a difficult thing to do week to week, but you obviously have a lot of momentum right now.
Well, we can coach off of this film with a lot of little bitty things that we didn't do well. We'll tell the guys we'll learn more about ourselves next week because we'll have adversity. We've got better players in North Texas. Arkansas's players will be like ours, so it'll be a little bit more difficult next week.
Congratulations. 65-0. Nice start. We appreciate it. That is Mack Brown. We'll be down here getting a few more interviews as the players leave the field. And so for now, we'll send it back up to Bill and Gary. We'll be back here.